coming up here to Sydney.
Hit hard to the right side, great play from Wingrove. He has no other option from Van Steensel on its way. Cold strike 3, and that is the ball game. Number 3. That is 3 strikeouts in the innings for Thomas Dorman. Towards the flagpole. It's got a chance. It's going. It is gone. Pell coming around the corner to score. Will be Bird. He slides in. He is capitalised. Bird puts a jolt into this one. Oh, forget about it. It is gone. Going back to the wall. It's gone. Oh, we said that was the way to hit it.
Light drive down the third base side. Ground ball, turn the double. They do. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Blue Sox Baseball, proudly brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia. We're broadcasting live on bluesox.tv on your YouTube channel. From Blacktown International Sports Park on this Friday evening, the 6th of December 2019. Good evening, I'm Paul Harrow-Harradine, and along with Big Cam Hickson and Amy Collins, we are the Blue Crew. And we're all ready to go for what promises to be a terrific night between the visiting premiers, the Brisbane Bandits, and your Sydney Blue Sox. Now, Big Cam's going to give us a bit of a wrap on last week's round and give us a status report on these clubs.
Thanks very much, Harrow. Good evening to you. Good evening to viewers, listeners all around this wonderful world of ours. What a different path these two teams have trod to get to exactly where they are tonight. Of course, the Brisbane Bandits started off their campaign. They went down to Adelaide, down to West Beach down there, and were swept away by the Giants, losing all 4. Then they went home to their home fortress up there in Brisbane, Halloway Park, and they swept the much improved Geelong Career up there. So that's how they got to 4-4. The Blue Sox, on the other hand, they went down to Geelong Career to start their campaign. They lost that series 3-1. They came home last weekend, and on the back of some dominant pitching performances, they eked out a 3-1 series win against the Giants. That's how they got to 4-4. So both teams 4-4, both on top of the North East Division, and so a very important series lining up here to see who can take control of this North Eastern series. As Amy will set to our third member of the commentary box, Amy Collins, welcome tonight. Tell us a little bit about the conditions here in Sydney. Been a bad week here in Sydney.
That it has. It is extremely smoky here in Sydney due to the bushfires around. This may affect the players' ability to see high fly balls tonight. The temperature here is now a lovely 25 degrees. However, it's been 31 degrees up until about 5 minutes ago. The wind is blowing a gale in from right field here at Blue Sox Stadium.
Has picked up a lot in the last 10 or 15 minutes, which has made it really comfortable here.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'll just interrupt the broadcast for a moment. Adam Dobb, CEO and owner of the Sydney Blue Sox, is about to make some announcements on ground as the players line up. And Trent and Annette Koch being introduced to the ground. Special dedication to the loss of Trent's dad.
A couple of weeks ago we lost a member of our baseball family. A man that was a part of New South Wales baseball for 5 decades as a player, as a coach, an administrator, premiership winning coach. He was a man that was quite critical if you couldn't execute a bunt. He had a smile that was quite infectious. He had a beautiful family. And although he spent the last 10 years in the Gold Coast and 8 years as a Bandits member, I'm sure he was still a Sydney supporter up. As is Trent. Ladies and gents, 5 decades of work in this game isn't easy, and I was fortunate enough to grow up with the family, and tonight's a very easy thing for me to remember David for. So if we could all stand and give David the time that he deserves, and a moment of silence to David Koch. family and friends.
There you are, ladies and gentlemen. We had to interrupt, of course, our broadcast. And I'll let everybody know Trent Kosh is actually on-ground announcer for the Brisbane Bandits in Brisbane, and he does a fantastic job. And since the loss of his father about 3 weeks ago, he's stepping aside from that role, obviously, to spend more time with his family.
And as Adam Dobb, the owner of the Blue Sox, said, David had been involved in New South Wales baseball for 50 years, held just about every position you can imagine, was a very strong supporter, and coached and looked after New South Wales country teams for many, many years, getting them to various championships around the country at all different age groups, and a real servant for the game of baseball.
And Trent is about to throw the first pitch for this first game between the Sydney Blue Sox and the Brisbane Bandits. And there he goes now. He's a great character. He does a fantastic job. A bit of speaking, business speaking assignments he has all around Australia, and he's a terrific bloke to know. I've had the pleasure of working with Trent on quite a few occasions, being as I live in Brisbane. So I do attend some of the Bandits games up there when required, and we get involved in those guys as well.
I'm sorry, just a bit of a cough.
A little bit of stumble. We're waiting on the umpires to have the plate meeting, and they'll be coming out soon, and that'll be followed by the national anthem. But just before we do, Big Cam had a little bit of a chance earlier on this afternoon to catch up with the Sydney Blue Sox coach Shane Barclay. So let's have a quick look as Big Cam chats to the Sydney Blue Sox coach.
Blue Sox TV, the big series between the Bandits and the Blue Sox here at Blacktown International Sports Park. We've been lucky enough again to be joined by Blue Sox manager Shane Barclay. Shane, welcome back to the broadcast. Mate, what can we expect this weekend? I know it's a real big arch rival series, us and the Bandits.
Yeah, it's probably a pretty big litmus test to see where we both are. We're both 4-4 after playing the same two teams. So, yeah, I think it'll be pretty interesting. Maestri going tonight. He was superb last week, so we hope he can orchestrate that again.
Yeah, it's two very different form lines coming through, isn't it? The Bandits got swept by the Giants and then swept Korea, where we went 3-1 against Korea and then beat the Giants 3-1. So a very hard form line to draw between the two clubs. But on the back of, as you say, Maestri and Dormany both throwing absolute beauties last week, it's something for the club to build upon.
Yeah, for sure, and I think both clubs are the same. Looking at Brisbane starters last week, they threw really well and gave their team a great start, and so did our guys here.
Something to be a little bit careful of on the Blue Sox side in Mike Mihama, big leaguer, stepping back on the comeback trail, looking to get himself back up into the majors given time, and does pose a real potent threat.
Yeah, if you watched last week's games, he swung it pretty decent, and he certainly looked all over everything he faced. So, yeah, we'll work hard to try and work around him if we can, put it that way.
And anything for the Blue Sox fans to look out for this series? We got any sort of development players and maybe looking to try and slot in here and there? We've seen Travis Bazzana get out there for a few runs, and I suppose we should also ask how Michael Campbell pulled up after he's running with the right field wall.
Yeah, I think Mickey's come up pretty good. He looks 100%. We've made one change to the roster, and young Liam McCallum is in the full squad this week. Bit of a two-way player, and naturally, you know, if we're going to over the next years as we build, we need these young guys coming through, and he certainly earned his stripes with real good performances in State League, and the bulldog effort he put on the mound against America in the Under-18 World Championship was superb, and he's worked hard and earned a start here.
That's awesome. So we wish you all the best of luck for this series. Hopefully for the Blue Sox supporters, they can get on top, take control of the division. For the Bandits fans that are tuned in, you'll be working hard too. So stick with us on Blue Sox TV, where we bring you all the action of the Bandits versus the Blue Sox. There we go. And we thank Shane Barclay for his time. Always willing to have a chat with us here on Blue Sox TV. So now the players are going out, getting ready for the national anthem. So very quickly we will run through the umpiring panel for tonight. Full panel on board. Ben Nash will call the balls and strikes behind home plate. Bobby Crawford will look after first base. Trent Thomas will look after second base, and Riley Barrington will look after third base. We will take a brief pause for the Australian national anthem, and then we will bring you all the lineups of the players and the first pitch of game one of this four-game series, the Blue Sox and the Bandits. Bandits. And there we have the national anthem of Australia. Massive shout out, a quick one in the early stages to all the firefighters and service people around this great state. A lot of smoke haze and a lot of bushfires burning around the Sydney area, both to the north and the south of the city, basically encompassing the city. And for all those firefighters and volunteers out there working, we thank them very, very much for their services. The Brisbane Bandits line up tonight. They will head to the plate in the following order. Andrew Campbell will lead off playing centre field. Logan Wade will bat in the 2 slot. He is the shortstop. Tim Cowell, he bats 3, the left fielder. Jakob Nielsen will DH tonight in the 4 slot. Mike Marjama, the big leaguer, he'll bat 5 playing third base. Donald Lutz in right field. Then will come Jeremy Martinez, the catcher. Wade Dutton, and batting in the 9 hole, David Goofy Sutherland. That is how the Bandits will head to the plate. Amy, how will the Blue Sox line up defensively?
In left field, we have Max Brennan. Playing centre field tonight, Michael Krause. Playing right field, Michael Campbell. At third base, we have Jacob Eunice. Shortstop, Gift Nagope. At second base, we have Andy Burns. And at first base, Boss Monaroa. Jack Murphy will be doing the job behind the dish tonight. And at pitching for the Sydney Blue Sox, Alessandro Maestri.
And we saw Maestri have such a really good day out last time for the Blue Sox. Let's see what he brings to the table on this occasion. He's had 2 outings, and over those 2 outings, he's thrown 12 innings of pitching, has only given up the 1 run and 6 hits, and sits with an ERA currently of 0.7. So has been dealing for the Blue Sox, but facing a Brisbane Bandits batting lineup that promises to be much more challenging than what he has faced. Although a few of the Brisbane batters are in a little bit of a slump coming in. We will see how they fare tonight against Maestri as he has just completed his warm-up pitches. He's ready to go. Andrew Campbell steps into the batter's box for the Brisbane Bandits. Ben Nash calls play ball. We're underway here in Game 1. The Bandits versus the Blue Sox. And Maestri misses up and out with the first pitch. Very hazy night here, although the wind now, as we said, has swung around to the east-southeast, so blowing almost directly in from right field. Difficult night to hit home runs here at Blacktown. It's a tough place at the best of times, but tonight it will be reserved for the power hitters that are going to the left field wall. That will be about it, I would believe.
Absolutely right, Cam. It is huge coming in over the right side, but I suppose you have to hit at least centre left field to be able to get it over the left field fence as well, because the wind is going to blow at 30 metres.
Correct. You want to tail it around and just slide it over that left field fence. Maestri behind 2-1 to Campbell. Delivers fastball, hit hard to the right side. Tough play for Andy Burns. He has good range, gets deep into the hole, almost into shallow right field before he picks that one up and gets it across to Boss Moanaroa for the first out of the evening. A very nice little bit of range there going to his left, Andy Burns.
Yeah, nickname Soupy. For
That's Andrew Campbell.
The lead off for the Brisbane Bandits, named after Campbell's soup.
I was wondering where we were going with that. I wasn't quite sure. I was a little lost for a second.
I was wondering how you're getting Soupy Burns.
Yeah, that's it.
Into the batter's box now for the Bandits is Logan Wade. And he's been on a bit of a tear of late. He was on fire last week for the Bandits. He was 6 for 16 and was hitting the ball everywhere. A home run, a couple of doubles, a triple, 5 RBIs, and he's currently in the middle of a 5-game hitting streak. So Maestri and the Blue Sox will want to put an end to that streak as quickly as possible here tonight. Maestri quickly ahead 0-2. On Wade, just misses outside. Logan Wade taking that pitch, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Both the lineups tonight and the pitching staff, I just reckon this is going to be a battle royal between these clubs all weekend. Not only a big game tonight, I think all 4 games are going to be as tight as you could possibly get in a game of baseball.
Tomorrow's game 1's going to be a very interesting game in terms of the Blue Sox as to what they do with their pitching. They have 3 very good starters in Gaia, Dormany and Maestri. The question will be what they do with that 4th start. Do they use it in the 7-inning game as a 1-2 pitch fouled off?
And we'll look at what Dormany did last week. Absolutely outstanding.
Well, I know I'm not the manager. I know I didn't put it to Shane Barclay as to what he was going to do, but I would throw Dormany in the second of those 2 games tomorrow night, the 9-inning game, and I would probably start Terrell Harris again, possibly in the 7-inning games. He went all right for the Blue Sox on Sunday of last week, but we shall see as it develops.
Are we sure that's a 7-inning game, the first one?
Yeah, first one in the doubleheader is a 7-inning game, as this one is lined out to centre field, so that hit streak will continue for Logan Wade. Make it 6 games in a row now that he has found base as he drills one into centre field.
Maestri just left that pitch up a bit on 2 strikes, so unfortunately I think that deserved to be hit there.
And the form that Logan Wade is in, he was not mucking around. Drilled it into centre field for a base hit. That'll bring left fielder Tim Colwell to the plate.
And some handy additions to the Bandits line-up this season.
I will be having a chat with Bandits manager Dave Nielsen tomorrow before the games, and hopefully we'll be able to get an interview with Dave and put that on before tomorrow's game. But keep your eyes out for their 3rd baseman tonight, Mike Mihama, major leaguer from the Seattle Mariners. Had a few hiccups in his career, and he's trying to rebuild himself and get himself back to that level, doing it through the Australian Baseball League. So keep your eyes out for him. He last week just hit the ball tremendously. 8 RBIs, 3 home runs. So he does bring some big league power to the Brisbane Bandits.
Definitely some impressive stats there.
Maestri just missing up tonight. I haven't seen that from him so far this season. As you said, Amy, he made a mistake to that pitch to Logan Wade and paid the price. Has missed up on a number of pitches. Falls behind 2-0 early to Colwell. Misses up again to fall behind 3-0. Base stealing presence of Logan Wade. Has stolen 3 bases already this season. So always a threat. But with 3-0, he won't be going anywhere. Colwell waits on the 3-0 pitch, called strike. Just need to be patient with our home plate umpire tonight. If you're wondering why he takes his time, Ben Nash always is very deliberate behind the home plate. He makes a call to the catcher and the batter, and then he will make a signal. So it may take him a second or 2, but just bear with us. 3-1 pitch on his way, misses up again.
First walk of the game.
So a difficult start, though, for Maestri. Did get a ground out to start the game, but then has just struggled with his location a little bit, leaving the balls up. Logan takes advantage. Colwell walks, and now you're a designated hitter, Jakob Nielsen.
The music here is the music man has decided to play a few walk-ups for the Bandits. Not the Bandits walk-ups that they would have at home. They're the Sydney walk-up songs for the Bandits.
Maestri finds the strike zone to start things off to Jakob Nielsen.
I believe especially developed late this afternoon.
But again, high in the zone. He needs to get back down to the bottom end of the zone. Runners at first and second. 0-1 pitch on the way. Curveball just misses. That's a better location to miss in, low and inside. So the Bandits with the first threat of the game. Runner in scoring position is Logan Wade. Runner at first base, Tim Colwell. Nielsen in the plate. That one is on the money for a called strike. One ball and 2 strikes now to Nielsen.
And Gope right in there behind Logan Wade as he gets his lead off second base. And Gope's not going to give him anything.
Again, they do have to respect the speed of the base runners. This one hit foul down the first base side out of play. Count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said, Logan Wade has stolen 3 bases this season. We know he has speed. An 8-year veteran for the Bandits.
Gift amuses me. He's Mr. Entertainment out there at shortstop.
Loves to go and have a chat. You can see him just in the bottom of your screen. This is a fastball, just misses outside. Again, much better location from Maestri. 2-2 now the count. Maestri steps off. Jakob Nielsen steps out. A few mind games going on as Maestri now prepares for the 2-2 pitch. Delivers to the plate, fastball, challenges Nielsen. He fouls it off, stays alive. Count remains 2-2, runners at first and second, 1 out, no score on the board. Top of the first innings here at Blue Sox Stadium in a massive series in the North East Division between the Bandits and the Blue Sox. Game 1 tonight, double-header tomorrow, Game 4 on Sunday. Thank you very much for being a part of Blue Sox TV. 2-2 pitch is low. Maestri in danger of loading them up here in the first.
Just missing that inside edge as well, I think, Cam, just by a fraction.
A big pitch here in the first inning. Full count pitch on its way, swung on and missed. And Nielsen will go down on strikes. And L.A. Maestri will get a massive big second out for him and the Blue Sox.
It was a great breaking ball there. Just looked like the fastball, and then at the last moment just dropped out of the zone. So a great pitch to come up with to get the second out of the inning.
Now the pressure for the Blue Sox never ends. Big leaguer Mike Mihama heads to the plate. Average may not be flash at 286, but as we said, already has 8 RBIs and 3 home runs. Although some people would say those 3 home runs only came at Holloway Field. There's still 3 home runs. Mihama takes the first pitch for a strike. Second pitch is hit hard towards third base. Well handled at third base by Jakob Nielsen, who will go to his own bag for the force out. And the Blue Sox will dodge an early bullet here at Blue Sox Stadium. They will get out of the top half of the inning. No damage done. The Bandits will leave a couple of stranded, and it is 0-0 halfway through the first here at Blue Sox Stadium. So a good start for the Blue Sox to get out of that. The Bandits threatened, and Amy, it just looked like L.A. Maestri was just missing his targets early, missing up a lot, which is not what you want at the start of a game for a pitcher.
Absolutely, and that really gets in your head at the start of a game. You're wondering, is it your mechanics? Are you rushing? Is there something going on, or is this just going to be what you're going to get for the night?
Yeah.
So it's great to see him make those small adjustments and get out of that after, as we said, what could have been a dangerous first inning.
Always a bonus to get the very dangerous Mike Mihama first up. As we said, Logan Wade was on a 5-game hitting streak. He now goes to a 6-game hitting streak with that hit there in the first. So he has got something going and has been the Bandits player. As Harrow, you want to run us through the Brisbane Bandits defensive lineup?
Certainly will, thanks, Cam. In right field, the big Donald Lutz out there in right field tonight. In the centre, it is Andrew Campbell playing deep centre field. Tim Colwell takes up left field. At third base, Mike Mihama will be holding down the hot corner. Logan Wade at shortstop, his regular position. The second baseman for the Brisbane Bandits, Wade Dutton. And the ever-reliable first baseman is David Goofy Sutherland. And the battery for the Brisbane Bandits behind the plate, Jeremy Martinez. And on the mound, starting for the Brisbane Bandits, it is Rick Teasley. Teasley's warm-up looks like it's all done. And we head to the batting lineup for the Sydney Blue Sox. Trent D'Antonio will be followed by Jakob Nielsen, then Andy Burns and Boss Maunaroa, the top four in the Sydney lineup.
Having the Bandits been well served by that core of Wade, Dutton and Sutherland over the years in this full premiership run that they've been on, the Bandits.
Absolutely, all those guys are there. Logan Wade's been back there for all those years as well now. And Donald Lutz keeps turning up every season. He loves it in Brisbane.
Just loves coming down and hitting balls. As this one is drilled up the middle, it's off the mound. Going to make a play for Wade with great range. Logan Wade, he makes a fantastic play to get rid of Trent D'Antonio. D'Antonio a little bit unlucky. If it goes straight over the top of the mound, it's a base hit. It hit the side of the mound and gave Logan Wade a chance. And Logan Wade only needs half a chance to make the plays. And he does on this occasion and throws D'Antonio out.
He's got some big pro ball experience, has Logan Wade, and that's where he just knows where to stand, knows how quickly to get to something, good ground coverage as you called. Eunice stepping in now.
Jakob Eunice was on fire last week for the Blue Sox. Only played the 3 games due to a family wedding on the Sunday, but went 8 for 11 in his 11 at-bats last series against the Giants, so really was on fire. Takes 2 pitches for a ball and a strike. Rick Teasley doing the work on the mound for the Bandits, left-handed thrower. Eunice waits now and drills this one straight at Mihama. He comes up with it, fires it across the diamond, no trouble. Thank you very much. A very comfortable ground ball to the big leaguer, who throws out Jakob Eunice at first base, and a pretty handy start for the Bandits. 2 up, 2 down.
He looks solid and relaxed in his first play from our point of view, being the Blue Sox TV broadcasters.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
we'd like him to look
that's
uncomfortable, to be honest. But
very settled in defence, wasn't he,
yes,
Amy?
he looked very comfortable with that.
However, Burnsy's at the plate. That's Andy Burns, of course.
Big leaguer with the Toronto Blue Jays, who during the week re-signed a contract with the Blue Jays and will be attending spring training. We hope that doesn't mean that they are going to close him down early. We're hoping that they'll allow Andy to play the entire season here with the Blue Sox, but congratulations on re-signing with the Blue Jays and getting that position at least in spring training, because I've got no doubts that Andy will get to play in the majors again for Toronto in the season upcoming over there, 2020, the majors. It's a little bleeder. It's going to get it over the head of Logan Wade, and there is the power of the man. Broke the bat and still had enough power to get it over the head of shortstop into shallow left field.
It goes down as a single to shortstop, strangely enough, the depth it went. But it was Logan Wade that retrieved that ball, got it back into second base to stop any advance of bases there. But Sydney get their first runner on for the game as well, single to shortstop.
Bandits going into a massive shift for Boss Maunaroa coming up to bat.
As we always see these days. It's a handy centre power of the Blue Sox lineup, isn't it? Eunice, Burns, Maunaroa. It's a pretty handy core to their batting lineup.
As we were saying last week, with the wind blowing the direction it's blowing from tonight, it would be handy if he could go opposite field.
And with that shift.
With the shift, exactly.
And Maunaroa takes a big hack at this one, fouls it back to the on-deck circle. Gift Nagope had a go at trying to field that one, missed it. Boss now 1 ball and 1 strike. And again, another big cut from Boss. Doesn't sell himself short, does he? If he's going to swing, he's going to swing hard.
That's why he is where he is in the batting order.
Correct. Rick Teasley well and truly aware of the danger Maunaroa possesses. 1-2 pitch on its way. Maunaroa chops it foul, pulls it into the Blue Sox dugout. Teasley, born in Fort Pierce, Florida, was drafted by the Tampa Bay Rays in 2013. and has worked his way around the minor leagues, getting as high as Triple A League. He's enjoyed a couple of seasons now here at the Bandits. 1-2 pitch is on the outside corner for strike 3. A beautifully located pitch when you're pitching lefty to lefty on Moanaroa. Teasley gets the strikeout. The Blue Sox are gone here in the bottom of the first. And after one completed innings here at Blue Sox Stadium, it is the Blue Sox and the Bandits locked at zeros.
Are you struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And back here at Blue Sox Stadium, 0-0 after one. We head to the top of the second and the due-ups for the Brisbane Bandits. Donald Lutz will lead things off. Jeremy Martinez batting 2 and Wade Dutton to bat 3. All in all, a pretty good start for the Bandits. They threatened in the top of the first, and then Teasley really only allowed that one hit to Andy Burns, and that was a broken batter. It was a good pitch in on the hands, just Andy Burns a little bit too strong. Muscled it out into left field, but easily shut down Moanaroa with a couple of very well-located pitches. So the Bandits off to probably the better of the two starts to start with. We'll see how LA Mestre bounces back after that less than fantastic first innings he had. As a pitcher, Amy, how do you bounce back in the dugout? Do you go and you have a chat to your pitching coach and just say, did you see anything obvious, or do you just go and sit down, have a drink, forget about it, and concentrate on the next inning?
Look, it's a hard question to answer because everyone does something different depending on who they are as a person and what their routines are. I mean, you need to work out what you need to make adjustments in, but you also need to sit down and look forward to the next inning.
Yeah, forget about it. Yep. That was always my thing. If I could forget about it, I would. It's gone. There's nothing you can do about something that happened 5 minutes ago.
It's very true. And he's come out and gotten ahead with the first pitch.
That's it. Again,
Lutz is batting 250, and he's had 3 hits out of 12 at-bats. 250, but he's not a 250 hitter. He's better.
and you can see the Blue Sox playing a rather, you would call it a slightly strange defence against Donald Lutz. It is a shift, but it's not a complete shift like you do see against some pull hitters. Donald Lutz is a pull hitter. As we see the 0-1 go straight into that pull. Moanaroa with the big 13-inch first baseman's mitt scoops it up as clean as a whistle and steps on first base. Nice play, the big boss man.
What a play. That was drilled at him and he just looked as comfortable as.
He could fish for salmon with that glove.
Stayed down beautifully well. Just put the big 13-inch first baseman's glove behind it. Stayed down, let the ball hit the mitt, scooped it up and then trotted over to first base for the out.
Wow.
That's why first basemen are allowed the big mitts, Harrow, because they're getting balls drilled at them all the time.
That wouldn't help me.
Doesn't help me either.
Big arm as well.
From memory, your sunglasses are your best help at first base, Amy.
Oh, sometimes.
Sorry, in-joke from the
In-joke,
semi-final of a couple of seasons ago. As a Maestri now, 1 ball, 1 strike to Jeremy Martinez, the catcher for the Brisbane Bandits. Again, just missing, just not quite hitting the zones at the moment. LA Maestri, and he just looks a little bit befuddled with himself, if nothing else.
What a good word, befuddled.
Yeah, he throws them all in. It was that word of the day, Cam.
I don't have a word. I don't have a word of the day like you, Harrow. That one, a little dribbler up the first base line. This is much more comfortable for Moanaroa. That one not quite drilled at him as hard as the Donald Lutz one. And again, scoops it up. So back-to-back putouts for Moanaroa. It is all the boss Moanaroa show at the moment.
He actually looked less comfortable fielding
That
that
almost
ball
bobbled
than
up and out of the head.
Absolutely, that's it.
Yep.
I think that one was taking a couple of strange hops at him. But
What's this coming? Received an anonymous SMS. Watching on my phone at home as I got a karate grading tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, in for the chop.
Good luck
Best
with
of
that.
luck.
Yes, hope he's got all his carders down pat, ready to go.
We'll find out who it is very soon, I'm sure. Glad you're enjoying the broadcast on the phone.
Maestri starts Wade Dutton off with a called strike, and a massive shout out and a thank you to Steve Merrill. He was the first of our Fruit Tingle suppliers from last week. He's at home with Jakey watching the Blue Sox on telly. Couldn't get out here tonight due to some other commitments, but certainly has the Blue Sox on the big telly.
Dutton behind in this count, 0-2.
Yeah, Maestri wasting no time, starting to feel a bit more confident up there after getting a couple of quick put-outs. This one fouled off straight back to the screen.
Tell your friends and family, tune into YouTube. Bluesox.tv is all they have to search.
0-2 from Maestri on the way, breaking pitch. Misses low and outside, but again, if you're going to miss with a breaking pitch, that's where you miss it. If you miss them up and in, you're likely to see the ball disappear over the left field fence.
Absolutely. That was a well-placed pitch for 2 strikes.
1-2 pitch now on its way. Hit hard down the third base line. Eunice has it, has a tough play, fires it across to Moen Arroyo. Wasn't going to be in time anyway. The throw was wild. Dutton runs extremely well. He had it beaten out anyway. It was a tough play for Jakob Eunice, who had to go right back to the foul line behind third base to firstly get it, and that saved an extra base. If that gets by him, it's at least a double for Dutton. So a good play from Eunice. They really shouldn't score that an error. I hope they don't, as I don't think Eunice had any play whatsoever, even though the throw was wild.
So far, so good on the scoreboard.
We are not official scorers by any stretch of the imagination, Harrow. We say that many a time. We do keep a little scorecard up here to keep us informed of what is happening, but it doesn't look like it's going up in air. It looks like it's been classed as an infield hit, the second of the night for the Bandits. It has gone up as a hit.
Single to 5.
And now David Sutherland in the batter's box. What a servant of the game for the Bandits David Sutherland has been. Big tall man, stands about 6'6". So plenty of strike zone, but Maestri struggling to find it at the moment. Falls behind 2-0.
Dave's mum does a great job in Baseball Queensland as well as a volunteer. She does whole heaps of work, unimaginable amount of hours she puts in.
This one is dribbled towards first base. Moen Arroyo will get it. He will glove, throw it.
No.
Is Maestri going to get it? No, he's not. He's going to drop it.
They've mucked it up.
Again, Moen Arroyo going for the fancy play rather than picking it up and underhanding it. He gloved through it. So he threw it from his glove straight to Maestri. Maestri was well behind, had to reach back to try and get it. He dropped it, couldn't get control of it. In the meantime, Wade Dutton was running on contact. He ends up at third base. He goes all the way around to third. And Sutherland will get aboard,
and that
courtesy
will be an error.
Of the error. But do you error the throw or do you error the catch?
Oh, I think you error the throw.
I agree. I think you error the throw.
Pretty lazy.
Because he tossed it. He tried to just flick it out of his own glove without taking it out with the hand and underhanding it. I tend to agree.
I really don't think Ali Maestri was expecting it.
At the time that he was, I think he was.
The way it came to him, he wasn't expecting that sort of delivery.
And it was well behind him. He had to reach back, which didn't help either, as he was trying to make it to the base. So will this hurt the Blue Sox as the Bandits have runners on the corners? They head back to the top of the lineup, and Andrew Campbell in the batter's box. So they have errored it. We're not exactly sure on whom. We will put it on Boss Moen Arroyo for the moment.
Look, it's an awkward play in any situation, and it's one of those ones where you can't really communicate because you're not too sure who's going to get the ball until the last minute. And
Boss may well have beaten him back to the bag anyway.
Absolutely,
That's
the other thing.
It is what it is, and Maestri now ahead 0-2 on Campbell. Runners at the corners, 2 out. Top of the second, no score on the board. This one hit straight up the middle. Nagope is right behind second base. He will take it to the bag himself. So Nagope with the force out at second. Again, the Bandits will threaten, and again they will leave 2 runners on base middle of the second innings. No score on the board, and the Blue Sox doing enough at the moment to hold the Bandits at bay, but they need to be careful because the Bandits continue to threaten.
Yeah, it was a little bit sloppy there, and when you're playing such a high-quality team as the Bandits, you just can't afford to let them take those little advantages, because if we keep giving them those chances, they're going to turn them into runs. And
errors and walks destroy baseball teams, and as I said, at the moment, a couple of walks in the first innings, and they got away from that. An error in the second innings. The Blue Sox get away from that. So the Blue Sox are surviving at the moment, but they will want to put a little bit of pressure back on the Bandits when they come up to the plate in this bottom of the second inning.
Certainly, you leave a crack in the door for the Bandits and they'll kick it wide open. They just have to be careful, lock down again. And I'm sure management are in there, coaches are in the dugout for the Blue Sox, just tuning them back in again. So let's click it up a bit. Yeah, the weather's getting cooler, the wind's blowing stronger. Let's go for it.
We've had a blow up in the Merrill household, apparently, Harrow. I've given everyone a shout out, bar for Grandad Ian.
Oh,
Grandad Ian is sitting there. It's his 66th birthday, and I didn't give him a shout out, and he's blowing up deluxe, apparently. So happy birthday, Grandad Ian. Have a nice, cold, frothy one from all of us up here in the Blue Sox box and celebrate that 66th birthday.
Ooh. Those 66-year-old blokes, they can get grumpy, you know. I did for a year. I'm over that now.
Yeah, you're 67 now.
Yeah, I'm grumpier.
So the Blue Sox will come to the plate. Nagope, Kraus, Campbell, due-ups for the Blue Sox. Nagope in no rush.
As always.
If you do want to send us a tweet, we'd love to hear from you. At Blue Sox TV is the handle, or you can send us an SMS on 0412 203 068. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to give you a shout out. Say hello, all you Bandits fans. We know you're tuned in. We know you're watching. We'd love to say hello, give you a shout out. Let us know where you're watching from and who your favourite Bandit is, how many games you get to at Halloway Field there, and support the Bandits.
Shout out to Katie, who got back to us about the karate. Karate grading tomorrow, so Katie's taking it easy at home. Good to see her enjoying it, Katie.
2 balls and 1 strike on Nagope. Leading things off for the Blue Sox, bottom of the second. Shows bunt, withdraws the bat, takes it for a ball.
Base coaches for the Blue Sox, Brian Murphy at third, and I think it's still Brendan Kingman, BK, down the first base side in the coaches box.
Michael Kraus, 3 RBIs, a couple of runs, and of course that home run which snuck over the fence on Sunday out in centre right field for the Blue Sox.
Snuck over.
It didn't look like it was ever leaving this place, and it still managed to find a way to get out on Sunday. Looked like it was going to get caught about 5 yards inside the warning track. Broken batter, and Teasley gets hit by the bat. The ball will go foul. He's worn the bat in the shoe as he was heading over to first base coverage. He seems okay. Splinters everywhere. And that one is only good for firewood and toothpicks now.
And Ben Nash played umpire, went and just checked with Teasley to make sure he was okay. He said, yeah, I'm fine.
I think Teasley actually trapped it with his shoe more so than the bat hitting him. I was trying to watch both the bat head and the ball at the same time, and that had my eyes going in opposite directions, which is never good.
So what's different?
Usually they're crossing over in the middle, not going sort of wall-eyed.
Doing the Marty Feldman.
That's it. Oh, Marty Feldman. Here's a throwback. Teasley across to first base just to keep Gift Nagope honest. Nagope hasn't tried to steal a base so far this year, but there is always a first for everything. So Kraus set again now, 0-2. Pitches to the plate, fouled off to the netting, heads up behind home plate.
Didn't miss by much.
No, they're all watching.
Back.
Michael Kraus will want to improve his batting average. He's only 4 for 29 on the season. So we'll definitely want to improve that. This pitch is inside, taken for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Michael Krause, the centre fielder for the Blue Sox. Easily set to the plate. Swung on and fouled off again. This one will be taken by Michael Campbell in the on-deck circle off the netting. Count will remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gift Nagope stands at first base. Nobody out. Bottom of the second. No score on the board. The Blue Sox and the Bandits.
Krause taking a few pitches out of Teasley.
They needed to after a relatively economical first inning. Teasley again sets to the plate. This one lifted into shallow right field, but he's just going to tail foul. And David Sutherland, he was just watching it, hope that that was going to go foul. He was caught holding Nagope on the bag, and as it flared into very shallow right field, he just looked up and just prayed that the wind was going to push it into foul territory, which it did. So a mild foul, if you're a Brisbane Bandits supporter, has never looked likely of landing in the field. 1 ball, 2 strikes, it remains. Teasley across to first base, just making sure Gift Nagope gets no funny ideas about taking off. Of course, Teasley being a left-hander gets that advantage. You know it all too well, Amy, a left-handed advantage of being able to hold that runner a little bit closer.
I have a terrible pick-off move, but yeah, sure.
This time it's a quicker move, and Nagope had to shuffle back quickly. I don't think Nagope picked it at first, but he got back, and that's all that matters. If you're a Blue Sox fan, he's back there standing safely at first base. Grandad Ian's happy with his shout-out, apparently, so all is good in the world. 1-2 pitch, low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes now for Michael Krause. Doing a good job of hanging in there in this at-bat. Two pitch, a swung on again. It's going to go into foul territory behind first base. Sutherland after it, and he pulls up just in time before he crunches into the fence behind first base. He's going to toss that ball to the Blue Sox dugout, who are going to throw it to the kids on the hill. I believe the kids tonight might have been, trying to remember where they were from. I was told, I just forgot to write it down, which is always the way. Not that it matters. I will look it up a little bit later in the broadcast when they get to do the base running.
We've got a couple of messages coming through, Cam. I'll give you those in a moment.
2-2 pitch, swung on and missed. A nice breaking pitch from Teasley. Gets Krause swinging, and he will go down. The first out here in the bottom of the second. Get rid of one Michael, and up to the plate strides the second Michael.
Here he is coming along as well, and we've got a couple of messages. I'll go to the first one first that we got. A Sydney-born Bandits fan with a shout-out to the Carlingford Cardinals. Yes, great unis too. My favourite players, Mark Mihama and Justin Nielsen. Commentary team struggling, Brian Garden. It's a bit of a G-up. We know it's Mitch Nielsen, designated hitter, batting 4 for the Bandits.
Yeah, they've got a couple of Nielsens, and as per usual,
Well, they got 3.
There was no first names on any of the lineup sheets.
Did you write it down wrong, Cam?
No, I think that was me.
Yes.
That was me. I didn't look at the uniform numbers close enough.
It's all good. We've got it nailed. Justin Nielsen, that's funny. Good on you, Brian. Thanks for the humour. We enjoy that. And another Bandits fan here, just a heads up, the DH is Mitch Nielsen, not Jacob. So it is Mitch, yes, we've just confirmed that. And there was another one earlier. I heard it but didn't pick it up off anybody else. I thought I'd just leave them alone and let it pass. Nobody would notice. But guess what? They did. It's Holloway Field, Cam, not Halloway. Halloway would be the Field of Angels.
Holloway.
Holloway. Well, it's named after a good person. Holloway Field.
The postage stamp that is the Brisbane home
I
ground.
like it. You know, the best thing about Holloway Field is the brick wall behind home plate.
Indeed.
It's fantastic. Looks great.
Or the highway heading back to Sydney.
Whoa!
This one grounded towards the right side of the diamond. Double play chance. No, they will just go to first base and get the one. Wade Dutton heading across there with nice range. Throws to Sutherland. Gets rid of Michael Campbell on the ground out. That will bring Captain Jack to the plate for the Blue Sox.
I'm just waiting for the next lot of messages to come in. Well
I
done.
know, I'm just stirring, Bandits fans.
Big Cam Hickson.
I'm just stirring.
And I can't.
We love to have that little bit of rivalry between both us and the Bandits and
course
us
we
and
do.
the Cavalry.
Imagine how I feel sitting here as a Queenslander
It's a
in
great
the Blue Sox broadcast.
It's a
box.
great three-way rivalry between the Bandits, the Blue Sox and the Cavalry. The only problem is the Bandits have got 4 titles to crow about. The Cavalry have got 1 title to crow about. And here in Sydney we have SFA, so to speak.
Donuts.
Thumbs up.
Donuts.
Thumbs up. Back to back to back to back.
So whilst we love to have the bit of fun and joy, we would love the Shield to come back here to Sydney.
There's
one
Murphy.
towering fly ball in the infield from Murphy. They're all underneath it. Nobody knows where it is. It's going to be Mihama, the big leaguer, who's going to take control. He will take control. Very difficult in the smoky air to possibly pick the ball up. I don't think Teasley really knew where it was. Logan Wade lost it. He had no idea. It was left to Mike Marjama. He came down. He picked it up. He makes the catch, and he will retire the Blue Sox here in the bottom of the second. So the Blue Sox will strand one there in the bottom of the second, but no damage done. So as we end 2 complete innings, the Solar Ray Energy scoreboard says the Sydney Blue Sox 0, the Brisbane Bandits 0.
In 1928, Petrus Cornelis Nicholas Middendorp founded his business, Middendorp Electric Goods Supply Company, selling imported light globes, vacuum cleaners and other electrical products. Business began booming, so Petrus and his sons opened the first Middendorp branch in a converted church on La Trobe Street in Melbourne in 1956. This was the first of many branches that would eventually spread across the country, trading as middies in its signature pink colour.
And welcome back to Blue Sox Stadium. 2 innings are in the books. No score on the board. The Blue Sox and the Bandits going through slightly different paths to get to 0-0 at the moment. The Bandits looking the better, but the main thing is no runs on the board. And Maestri just warming to his task. He looked better in the second inning than he did in the first, but needs to again improve in this third inning.
This could be the first series here. I know it's only the second one we broadcast, but I think it could well be the series where we get extra innings over the course of the weekend. I've called it early.
Well, the Bandits had a game last week against the Geelong Korea team that went into extra innings tied at 4. The Geelong Korea team, being the away team, went first and got 3 runs and felt pretty confident about themselves, leading at 7-4 going into the bottom of the 10th. And that was quickly erased as the Bandits put on 4 themselves to end up winning that game in a walk-off 8-7. As Logan Wade will lead things off for the Bandits.
Certainly does. And
here
fouls,
in the top of the third.
Fouls off the first pitch. Ali Maestri getting into his rhythm now, I think we'll see in the third, top of the third. And a bit of a slow start, really, Maestri, compared to last week. And that one down low. Cut off at the plate by Jack Murphy. Just a little blocking manoeuvre there. Everyday stuff for a catcher. Wade 2 in the starting lineup, batting 2 in the starting lineup for the Bandits. Fouls another one off. Quite a few left-handed batters, lefties in both lineups here for the hitters. Sid the Sock going into hiding on the third base side, I should say. There's nobody sitting up there. Just got up looking for the crowd. None in that side. Sid, you better come back.
Not a bad crowd in for a Friday night here in Blue Sox Stadium.
Yeah, it's an unusual Friday as well. As we said, the weather is very, very strange here.
And that will keep a few people away because it is very difficult to get down from the country areas with the fires that are surrounding Sydney. We've got fires to the north and the northwest up around the Hawkesbury Mangrove Mountain area, and then a lot of fires down to the south and southwest around the Oakdale or Romby sort of area.
And ground ball, Gift and go. Pay picks that up, doesn't throw it. Good decision, Gift. He cut it off, certainly. He had to get right across behind second base and retrieve the ball, cut it off.
The other good decision was by Maestri to take his bare hand out of the way as that ball went past him. He tried to stop it for a second and then thought the better
Good pick up, Amy. Stay out of the way. You'll only hurt yourself. Get off the hill.
Yeah, pitchers aren't fielders. Get out of the way.
Well, you are a fielder, but when it comes blistering past your non-glove hand at that pace, leave it for your shortstop.
So Bandits get their lead off on first base with a single to shortstop.
Quickest way to dislocate and or break a finger.
And Colwell at the plate now. Tim Colwell steps in. The
having a
fire's
look.
in fact this afternoon, Cam Rowley, I'm told 4 kilometres away from the field. So pretty close.
Yeah, getting very, very close around here. And again, a shout out to all the men and women who give up their time, the volunteers, as well as the actual firefighters who go out there and risk their lives to try and keep not only people safe, but properties and animals safe, as this one's lined into left field, Harrow.
Wow, a big turn on it as well. It headed towards the scoreboard and turned left and fell about 20 metres below that. And that puts Tim Colwell up there with a single to 7, single to left field side. At first, he moves Logan Wade into scoring position at second base, and there they stand. Bandits, the first 2 batters in the top of the 3rd inning on base. And that brings to the plate their clean-up man, designated hitter Mitch Nielsen.
We sure it's not Jacob?
Absolutely.
Oh, right. Okay, just checking.
I just used his number. Number 38. There are 3, as we said. Daniel's in there, along with Mitch. And I think it's Jacob is the other one. Daniel and Mitch. And where's he gone?
That is correct.
He is there somewhere. Jacob,
Yep.
I saw him earlier. There he is.
Yeah, Jacob and Mitch
Just above
together
Mitch.
as infielders and listed on the roster as an outfielder for Daniel.
All handy players as well.
It's a fair baseballing dynasty, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And their uncles and their fathers and everybody else involved.
That's what I mean. It's a fair dynasty of Nielsen's up there in Queensland baseball.
So Mastry, Ali Mastry on the hill, trying to get it out here. He gets Nielsen swinging on that one, and he will walk back to the dugout with a slight shake of his head. Goes down swinging. Back-to-back K2s for Mitch Nielsen. That brings up the first out on the Bandits here in the top of the 3rd.
Maybe it should have been Jacob.
Well,
He's had two at bats for 2 strikeouts.
That'll come back to bite
I
us
know.
later in the game.
I know,
He's gonna hit something, and
The old curse of the commentator.
that's it.
Mitch will come up and he's next at bat with runners at loaded bases and hit a salami.
good night, Irene.
Well-
Mike Mihama steps in now. Swing on that one. He wants some of it. Swung a little bit too soon, but Mastry was able to just drift that one to the outside edge. Fastball outside for that, and that got Mihama swinging. Crowd have got the rattles going, and everybody settled in here for a comfortable night at the baseball. Drove foul down the 3rd base side that time. Just a long strike, as we call it, a long foul ball, long strike. Tomorrow is going to be a big day here at Blue Sox Stadium, starting from 3:30 for game number 2. 6:30 for game number 3 is the schedule. There must be a mandatory 30 minutes between the end of one game and the start of the next. So get here early, get here before 3:30, get here for 3 o'clock or 2:30. I think the gates open 1 hour before at 2:30. Should be a lovely afternoon here in Western Sydney. Straight off the M2 and the M7 highways, and not far from the M4, straight up the middle.
Thanks for the directions.
They're all there. Coming from the airport, you'll find it. That will go foul, I believe, waiting for the third base umpire.
Yes.
It's well foul, but
Quite foul.
it's also well over the fence.
It went a long way, which is why I was wondering when it turned and what the umpire's decision would be. Down the 3rd base side, it's Riley Barrington.
Well, we had rumours and reports of the power of Mike Mihama. There it was in person. That ball was crushed.
It's onto the cricket field, which is a whole baseball field away. Ground ball now. And Gopay feels that. Gets it across to his first baseman, Moa Noroa. And they get that second out on Mihama. Great 6-3 play and great coverage from Gift and Gopay. He's a cool dude. He got there, it looked easy, but you could see he put the work in to do it.
Absolutely, and that's a tough play as well because he had to think and process, no, that runner's already at third base, I can't make that out. I'm going this way, so I can't make there. I have to throw it first
and
to
he
get the
also
out.
decided to have to charge at it before it bounced one more time in case there was any spin on the ball, because if it had have hopped one more time with any overspin or anything, he might have got a real funky bounce and not made any play at all.
Perfect timing. Yeah, perfect time. And as you do, when you feel that ball, he stayed down with his shoulders and still made that typical traditional throw that you must do over your shoulder but still at an angle. Same action, hold the angle to get the ball away. If he tries to stand up and throw it, he's not going to get the out.
Now the Blue Sox in a funky position with Donald Lutz up. They would usually play a shift against Lutz. They're not playing the shift as much now with runners on second and third, even though Andy Burns has gone into shallow right field from his second base position. Gift Nagope just lurking behind the runner at second.
So Lutz, 1-1 pitch coming to Lutz now from Mastry. Taking his time, getting the signs from Jack Murphy. Oh, resets again. Something must have distracted him as Lutz stepped out. I think it may have been an ambulance in the background.
Yeah, emergency
Sirens
vehicle
blaring.
heading down Eastern Road.
Ready now.
Oh, that's a good pitch for no result.
Just low outside.
Very nice spot there.
More outside than low, I think. But all over it, plate umpire Ben Nash. This is a good four-man crew we've got out there tonight. They're all good. Last week was a three-man umpiring crew. Lutz swings through that one for no result.
Only one real contentious call in the whole 4 games of last week, and it made no effect to the game anyhow.
Absolutely. All-round good display.
That game was well and truly gone and dusted by that stage. Ben Nash just calling time now.
Cowbells are ringing. Two-two pitch.
Oh, that's close too. Then the Blue Sox were off the diamond.
Fastball missing inside.
Eunice and Nagope were both headed to the dugout.
As was Maestri.
You heard the groan from the crowd. They were not happy.
2 out, 2 on for the Bandits. And Lutz gets rung up looking at that one. He tried to buy it off the umpire, but no sale, says Ben Nash. That is an out. You looked at that one, caught looking, Donald Lutz. And 3 out now for the Bandits. They leave 2 stranded. And that takes their total 6 runners through 3 innings of baseball left stranded on base.
Yeah, Donald Lutz, he wasn't real happy, was he? He got one early, the pitch earlier that might have been the called strike. I don't know whether well, as an umpire, there's no such thing as a make-up call, but Donald Lutz down looking.
Especially not at this level.
Correct. 0-0 the score. So for all your printer and copier needs, speak to the professionals at Mytronics. Mytronics are Australia's largest brand independent office equipment and supplies company. Mytronics are proud to be wholly Australian owned and operated and stock only the best and most famous brands of printers and copiers. Mytronics guarantee to beat any valid Australian quote, so you can be sure that you are getting the best value and service when you buy or lease your chosen product from Mytronics. So jump online and check out the massive range of printers and copiers and all of the services provided at mytronics.com.au. Mytronics are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox.
Okay, I've got a missed call on Messenger. I'll check out who that is. But Katie's come back to us. She's going for the brown belt tomorrow. Brown belt with a black tip. I don't know my karate, but...
Sounds pretty deadly to me.
I was going to say, that's the level you don't mess with, Arrow.
Best of luck, Katie.
Let me know when you come to the next game, Katie. I'll make myself... So we go to the bottom of the 3rd innings. Blue Sox leading off with their 9 batter for his first appearance of the night, Max Brannan. Playing left field tonight, and defence, of course, for the Sox. And Brennan gets his first opportunity against the pitching of Rick Teasley. Teasley puts one straight into the strike zone, no mucking around, and gives Brennan a sight on where the zone is. No waiting around for Teasley. Gets the next one in, but missing up high. Now, viewers can probably still see a bit of that smoke haze across that shot from centre field over the pitcher's shoulder. It's normally a lot clearer picture. And a strike called on the swing for Brennan that time. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Teasley started his motion, then Brennan stepped out. Comes back to reset as Teasley waits for him. Swing and a miss on that one. Brennan goes down swinging. Big K2. Teasley had that all worked out with Jeremy Martinez, his catcher.
Yeah, he's looking really comfortable and really fluid on the hill. He's hitting nice spots, throwing good pitches, and causing a bit of trouble for the Blue Sox batters so far.
Sure is. He's a handy guy to have up there on the mound. Back to the top of the order for the Sox through Trent D'Antonio. Leaves the first one alone. Of course, Sunday here at Blue Sox Stadium is Ladies' Day. So bring your lady out to the ball game, gents. Ladies, get out here yourselves. Leave the old man at home to cut the grass.
Some special merchandise and special jerseys will be worn on that day.
A comebacker goes to Teasley on the mound, underhands it to his first baseman, of course, David Goofy Sutherland. D'Antonio becomes the second out for the Blue Sox on a 1-3 comebacker. If it was grandfather that was in trouble, maybe he could bring the girls out to the baseball on Sunday. That'll get him out of strife for being grumpy.
Will indeed. And I can tell you in the early game over the ditch, the Tuatara have taken a game off the Cavalry. 4-0, the Tuatara won game 2 of the series. The Cavalry got away with a late innings win last night in game 1 of that series, so that one locked at 1 apiece.
Big effort. Eunice drives one foul over the first base grandstand. The cheerleaders are in from last week as well, assisting in the entry areas for all the crowd. And, getting into the game with a bit of activity with the shiny pom-poms they use.
It's a bit of glitz and glamour at the ballpark.
That's what you need.
Maybe you can have some glitz and glamour.
Me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
right.
think it'd look great.
Ground ball straight across there to Logan Wade. Wade to Sutherland, 6-3. Ground ball out. And the Blue Sox, in the bottom of the third innings, go 3 up and 3 down. No score on the board between the Blue Sox and the Brisbane Bandits.
Are you struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
We're heading to the top of the 4th inning, still locked at 0. We promised you this would be a cracking arm wrestle of a series, and it is certainly working out that way. LA Mestre struggling a little bit on the mound for the Blue Sox, but they're still keeping that 0 up on the board for the Blue Sox. Teasley looking comfortable and doing it well in the early stages for the Bandits as the diamond gets a little bit of a rake before we head to the top of the 4th. The due-ups for the Bandits, Martinez, Dutton and Sutherland.
Okay, clarification on the missed call. It was Brett Montgomery. Monty himself from way back. How are you, Monty? Good to hear from you. And he just wanted to shout out to all the Sydney Tide Masters players. And the Tide are still out there. The Sydney Tide, and of course, Monty's been involved in baseball down here in Sydney through Petersham and Marrickville and the Sydney Tide over the years. And he's hoped they're safe from the fires. Mate, they're probably even out there putting them out. Good to hear from you, Monty. Good to hear you well. Jeremy Martinez, the catcher for the Bandits. That was a little chat with the umpire, Ben Nash, on that call. 1 strike. Just asking about where it was, I suppose. Is that the zone? Yeah, was that down the bottom on the outside? I'll work that out. Just give me some scope here. Leaves the next one alone. And that bounces into the glove of Murphy. One ball, 1 strike. And Martinez leaves that one. So Jeremy Martinez, the catcher, batting in the 7 slot for the Bandits. His first appearance he's put out at first base. Driving one down the line, straight into the face of Boss Moana Roa.
That was a very pretty play by Boss earlier in the game. Sorry, I probably shouldn't call a baseball play pretty, but it was a lovely play that he made there.
The one on Martinez, I think, was the dribbler. Lutz
Oh,
was the hard
dribbler.
hit.
That was the one that made him nervous.
Yes.
Came straight at him. Gets the outside edge then, Maestri, and that sits down. Jeremy Martinez back to the dugout. Caught him looking. Got that fastball in, cut the outside edge, painted the black. 1 up, 1 down in the top of the 4th for the Bandits. Our second baseman, Wade Dutton, strides to the plate. His second appearance, he got a single to third base in his first appearance in the top of the 2nd. Now in the top of the 4th, he gets his next opportunity to show his wares. And swing and wide, Maestri throws a little bit of curve on that. Dutton thought he had it covered, but just cuts away from him. Swing and a miss, fastball up high. Dutton underneath it. Fouls one off over the first base side. I just started to look at our next message. I better stop reading. Very, very good.
That's a long one, so
It
yes.
is.
Yep.
I'm only halfway through and I've got a grin on my face. Fastball missing outside. Good location, but he wants that to be there, not missing. Mastery still ahead in the count though. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the bat of Dutton. Dutton gets bat to ball this time, bounces straight out there to Gift and Gopay. Gets it to Moana Roa for a ground ball out. A regulation 6-3 out, and that is the second out on Wade Dutton for the Brisbane Bandits. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning, and that will bring to the plate David Goofy Sutherland. Just quickly, hey team, loving the commentary tonight. Didn't find that Brian Garden guy very funny though. I got a sense of humour. He's not too bad. I'm a huge Bandits fan. That means you're a big guy. My favourite players are Spooky Sutherland. That would be Goofy. Donald Lutz, like that. Wade Sutton, very good. That one gets through to the outfield, just missing. And it was second baseman out there, Andy Burns, playing really deep on the bat of Dave Sutherland.
That was a very interesting shift that we had going there.
They had a very
Jacob,
deep shift on for Wade Dutton.
Yeah, with Jakob Eunice coming over the other side of second base.
They had every player was on the second base side, the first base side of second base. They had a complete shift on, and he still managed to find a base hit to right field.
He certainly did. He got a cracker in there. Out of the right field side, single to 9. Sutherland on base, 2 out. We go to the top of the order in the top of the 4th innings through Andrew Soupy Campbell. That was funny, Andrew Robert, if that's how you pronounce your name. Soupy Campbell at the plate now. He rips one foul down the first base side. He was all over that one. That was up in the zone a little, Amy.
Yes, it was, and he certainly hit it hard. Thankfully for the Blue Sox fans, that was very foul.
Well and truly. Okay. I think I've said it before tonight, a lot of lefties in this team. This one goes left as well, but into the glove of Andy Burns. Burns gets it to Moanaroa, well covered, and that puts Campbell out. It puts the Brisbane Bandits out in the top of the 4th innings. They leave one runner stranded.
That was probably the most convincing defensive innings that we've seen so far from Maestri and the Blue Sox. So that might be a change in momentum coming for the Blue Sox.
Absolutely right. Started with a good strikeout, then got a Wade Dutton to ground out to the shortstop. They put the shift on Sutherland, and he got the ball he wanted, but Sutherland was just good enough to get it to find a gap, or lucky enough to get it to find a gap, however you want to look at it. Either way, he got aboard and then got the routine ground ball to finish things off. So a good innings for Maestri and the Blue Sox. As you say, just might sort of, swing things back in their favour, but they need to get the bats to happen. They've only had, I think it's one hit against Teasley so far tonight, so they need to get the bats going. But if you would like to join us up here in the Blue Sox commentary box, in the blue box at the back of the grandstand, we'd love to hear you. We've had plenty of SMSs and tweets coming through. So don't be shy, send us an SMS. That number is 0412 203 068. 0412 203 068. Or you can send us a tweet at Blue Sox TV, like Nathan Brummer has done, just saying good evening to everybody. And he just got home, tuned straight in to see how it's going, and it's still nice and tight. So he said he doesn't think he's missed too much. No, you haven't missed too much, Nathan. Great to have you aboard. Things are just heating up, as is the way we like them here at Blue Sox Stadium.
It certainly is, Cam, and the Blue Sox will lead off here, the bottom of the 4th, with Andy Burns. Andy Burns, number 3 in the order, and very, very handy. He got a ground ball single to 6 in his last at bat, and that's the one that Logan Wade had to go very, very deep on. So a good start for Andy Burns. Let's see if he can back that up here in the bottom of the 4th, as Teasley delivers the first pitch for a strike. The lefty knows how to use that outside edge on the right-handed hitters. There he goes again. Tries the same side but straightens it up. Fast ball. Missing though. 1-1 count.
Andy Burns has the only hit for the Blue Sox so far, and that was a broken batter that he just managed to muscle into left field.
Teasley's got him swinging at the moment.
Changing the pace is keeping him off balance with a really nice changes of pace.
Making him wait for a little bit. Time called by Martinez. Got him swinging, pops one up straight over the back of the grandstand, right over the middle.
Probably into Shirley's Merchant, on the top of Shirley's merchandise cabin down on the front of the forecourt.
And what a good cabin it is.
Absolutely. When you walk into the ground, head straight into there and pick up your Blue Sox merchandise. If you're at home, you can always go to bluesox.com.au and shop the whole range from the comfort of your lounge suite.
Caps and shirts and everything else you could ask for in there, as that one just misses from Teasley on the outside.
We might even need to go in and get a hoodie tonight. It's starting to get quite fresh up here in the commentary box.
The wind howling in from the east, which will be a welcome relief for some of those fighting the fires.
That would go foul, I would say, into the crowd.
On that breeze, yep, absolutely, Harrow.
Actually
out of the ballpark, just carried out onto Eastern, the entrance road.
A few more coming in now. A shout out for the number 1 Blue Sox fan, and Nicky Pineapples. Who rocks? Blue Sox. Thanks, Nicky. Centre field, high fly ball to centre field. Campbell running after it, going back on it though, second baseman, at Wade Dutton. Charged back there, and it was Campbell charging in at a rate of knots. He had a lot of ground to make up, but the wind, this strong wind coming from the right field side, just held that ball up long enough for Wade Dutton to get out there and make a good clean catch.
It certainly looked like it was going to travel all the way out to centre field, but as you said, that wind just stopped it straight in the air.
I was surprised Dutton ended up with it because Campbell was all over it from my view. But, it just held up and turned back in again. So fly ball to position 4. Seems strange riding it down when it was so far out there. That brings up the first out on Andy Burns for the Sox and brings to the plate, in turn, Boss Moanaroa. Bottom half of the zone there on Moanaroa for a fastball off Teasley. This is inside low that time. So Moanaroa being very patient here with the stick. The question we just got was, with a stacked infield, where would Andy Burns play on a Blue Jays team? He did make an appearance at second base last time out there with, as you say, a very stacked infield. So it shows you the talent of Andy Burns.
We've got Cam doing some research on that as well as we speak.
I mentioned last week who the third baseman and shortstop were, and they are legends. Ground ball across behind second base. Wade Dutton fields that easily and gets a regulation play from second to first. Dave Sutherland gets the out, and it was was it Wade Dutton over there? Was it? No, it was Logan Wade.
Logan Wade.
Logan Wade way across.
Yeah,
on that
again
shift,
they shift on Moanaroa.
Threw me out completely because he came from the second base position to get the out. So it becomes a 6-3 ground ball out on the right-hand side of the field. 2 up, 2 down, the Blue Sox against the defence of the Brisbane Bandits here in the bottom of 4. Gift and Gopay at the plate. So yeah, I think Andy Burns might be shaping as a alternate second baseman there in the Blue Jays, depending on what's happening with the lineup they've got now. There might have been a bit of trading in the last week or two. So Gopay settles in there, 3 balls, no strikes, very patient. He got a walk with his last appearance off the pitching of Teasley. And he walks again. Back-to-back walks for the Gift. And again, Blue Sox get Gift and Gopay on.
Doesn't seem like they want to throw to him tonight so far, does it?
It's strange.
Yeah.
Totally different to the Adelaide approach last week where they were on the attack all the time. And interesting that they're pitching around him.
With Rick Teasley's control that he has at the moment, it does seem as though it is a plan of theirs to not give him anything too close to go for, trying to get him to chase.
Then we go fastball high and inside on Michael Krause. And when Gift got a walk last time, he was the lead off. He didn't get anywhere because the next 3 batters were out. So there's 2 out already here. They don't mind putting Gift on base and then going to Krause, Campbell and Murphy, I guess. The talent of both these clubs is very strong in the dugout as well. When you look at the coaching staff, they've both got fantastic coaching rosters. The coaching lineup is very, very strong.
Absolutely, and it shows with the way that the two teams play the game.
Yeah. Through the bottom of 4 innings here, 1 out away from the end of the 4th.
Sid the Sock down there with that cowbell.
Oh, really?
It's driving me a little bit insane, I'll be honest.
Be thankful it's not Emilio with the cowbell.
Yeah, Emilio would drive you crazy. So Krause now, 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Teasley. And left wide, outside and low, and Krause walks, back-to-back walks. So what does Martinez go out and say to Teasley now? A coaching visit as well.
So just having done a little bit of research, Harrow, as to where Andy Burns might fit into the Blue Jays organisation, having a look around, as you say, they have a completely stacked infield. Bichette, Sogard, those sorts of blokes, Vlad Guerrera. He's not going to force.
The lineup he played.
Yeah, he's not going to force his way into that unless he's hitting exceptionally well. He will be used, though, as a backup second baseman. At the moment, they've got Richard Urena, they've got Alan Hansen, just shooting around the periphery there. So I think he's been added to add some more sort of older, mature utility value. They do have some youngsters in young Biggio, Craig Biggio's son, Kevin Biggio, coming through. So it may just be to add that slightly more mature power bat into the utility lineup. Certainly won't be an everyday player for the Blue Jays, but he'll certainly force his way, in my opinion, onto that 40-man roster to be used, maybe even as in DH ballparks or something like that, perhaps.
And that's what it's about. So the other Michael, Campbell, is in there now, fouling that pitch off over the third base side. Yeah, it's about getting on the 40-man roster, really, isn't it?
That's all it's about. You make that 40-man roster and earn, major league minimum wage, you're on your way. Are we seeing the momentum shift here?
Well, Sox have got a little bit of pressure on here. They've got 2 runners on. There are 2 out, though, so it's a little bit of backs to the wall. Messages coming in through the SMS here. Thick and fast. We'll catch up with those in the break between innings. Yeah, confirmed what you were just talking about, Cam, about Bichette and Vlad, of course. That's a little hop. It goes out to first base sides. And it is David Sutherland retrieving the ball, sliding into first base to get the third out on Michael Campbell.
Good thing he's
charging
6'6".
up the line. Oh, he is 6'6". Let me tell you, every bit of it, maybe 6'7" in my world. And put out at first base. 3 out now, and that shuts down the Blue Sox attack in the bottom of the 4th inning. After 4 completed here at Blue Sox Stadium with the Blue Crew, it is no scores on the board for Sydney or Brisbane.
Design Choice brings you the most... Let's start that again, eh? We'll go with the actual read. Design Choice brings every space to life with a design solution that is conceptually beautiful, practical, cost-effective and durable, even for the toughest commercial environments. Working with clients and the furniture industry for over 20 years, you can rely on their knowledge and high-quality items. The Design Choice team knows that selecting the right piece of furniture can be the difference between becoming just another restaurant and becoming the new destination hotspot. To see some of their creative designs, head to designchoice.net.au. Design Choice are proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And Cam, back here at Blue Sox Stadium where you're tuned into the Blue Crew on a fantastic night of baseball here as the smoke starts to clear. The wind has changed. It's got a bit cooler. The temperature's dropped, which is fantastic. But the difference in this game is on the number of hits. The Blue Sox have had 1 hit throughout this game and they've left 4 runners on base. Brisbane Bandits have had 5 hits and they've left 7 runners on base. So the stranded runners is a number, but the 5 hits is also a totally different number. It shows they've got the attack going. And Blue Sox are going to have to be very wary of the Bandits' attack, and I'm sure they are. I'm sure the coaching staff have got it all under control. But the Bandits are there waiting for the sleeping giant of the Sydney Blue Sox to wake up and the timber to start working in the batting box.
Well, we've seen already that it is working, and then they just need to string those hits together. The difference between them scoring and not scoring so far has been 1 more hit per inning.
Absolutely.
Or, something very small.
Yep.
They've been pressing, and the Blue Sox have been doing a good job to hold them back.
Running bunt to start the top of the 5th inning, Harrow, and it is going to be a tight play at first base. It's going to be in time. Wow, that was tight. A really tough play for the major leaguer, Andy Burns, and it was close there at first base. First base umpire Bobby Crawford all over it and fires out Logan Wade there at first base.
I'd love to see a replay of that play. That was a brilliant play.
We'll have that all on board next season, Amy, so something to look forward to next year when we get our replay machine.
Maybe sooner.
All that, so it's all on the cards. We're working into that.
We've got some things in train already, Cam, going on in background.
Oh, there you go.
So we're trying to set that up sooner rather than later.
And hopefully we will have that, as we said, in the not too distant future, certainly next season, if not before.
A little bit of software.
Tim Colwell to the batter's box. He's 1 for 1. A base hit and a walk. Quickly falls behind Maestri 0-2. And Maestri battling away. Hasn't been his most dominating start by any stretch of the imagination. But he is battling hard for the Blue Sox. 0-2 pitch swung on, grounded straight at Nagope. Comes up, firing to Moen Aroa. Not the greatest throw down at the ankles, but easily handled by Moen Aroa. 2 up, 2 down here, top of the 5th.
Those two really good plays will be really boosting Maestri's energy levels on the hill. You might be, as you said, it hasn't been his best start, but to have your team behind you making some really good plays really lifts you as a pitcher on the hill.
Certainly that first out to Andy Burns, that could easily have been scored a base hit, and Burns comes up and just makes the play at the last moment, and all of a sudden Maestri thinks, okay, well, we've got him, then gets a nice easy roller to your shortstop, and now shift on again as they face Mitch Nielsen. Blue Sox shifting a long way, and again Jacob Eunice has come over. Gift Nagope staying in the what would be the standard shortstop position, which is now the last of the Blue Sox switch. And hit hard straight at Andy Burns in deep. Second base, shallow right field. The switches come off for the Blue Sox. The shift works. They get Mitch Nielsen to drill it straight at Andy Burns for a fairly comfortable ground ball. That will end it a 1-2-3 inning, the first of the game for LA Maestri and the Blue Sox. So they'll be happy with where they stand. 4.5 inning in the book. 0-0, the Blue Sox and the Bandits.
Are you keen for green? Lush Greenery is your comprehensive commercial supplier for all your artificial greenery requirements. From concept to completion, they are there every step of the way to help make your garden or interior look amazing. Lush Greenery covers all your designs, from a range of barn doors to green walls, planter boxes and climbing vines. To see samples of their spectacular green walls and range of products, visit lushgreenery.com.au. You'll be stumped how lifelike their greenery is. Lush Greenery, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
Oh, well done, Harrow.
I rehearsed it. Amazing what a little bit of practice does, just like baseball. Got another shout out now to Chris. G'day guys, the wife is out and the kids are in bed. So it's beers and Blue Sox baseball time. I'm checking in from Coffs Harbour. Can we get a shout out to my fellow Sawtell Dodgers of the Coffs Harbour Baseball Association, of course. And please, let's go Sox. Cheers, Chris. Yeah, g'day Chris, Coffs Harbour. I remember I was involved a long time ago when my kid was a little ankle biter. He's now 40-something years old. And Coffs Harbour Baseball Association used to come down to Manly for T-ball tournaments back in the day. So that's a while back. Good on you, Chris. Thanks for contacting us. Glad you're enjoying the broadcast.
Good area for baseball, that. Up on that central coast, or it's a bit more north than central, but Murphy in the batter's box, all up around that Port Macquarie, Coffs Harbour, all that sort of area. Great area for baseball.
Gordon Geyer,
Gordon's back. Great to have you aboard, Gordon.
our BMW rider.
Murphy.
Did I say Harley Davidson last week?
You did the first time.
Where do you keep your mitt while driving? In the glove compartment.
Oh, dear. Happy dad joke day.
That's a good one. I like it.
Murphy quickly behind 0-2, leading off things in the bottom of the 5th for the Blue Sox. Max Brennan, Trent D'Antonio, they're the due-ups. 0-2 pitch on its way to Murphy. Just misses outside. Nice pitch that, though, from Rick Teasley. He's been efficient through his 4 innings so far. Breaking pitch gets Murphy swinging. A beautiful breaking pitch from Rick Teasley. Murphy way out in front, sits him down on strikes. And another strikeout for Rick Teasley and the Bandits.
All right, we have another joke here.
Oh, dear.
Which baseball player holds water? The pitcher.
Oh, dear.
Oh, fantastic.
Thanks, Gordo. There is another one. We might save that.
So Max Brennan to the batter's box, takes the first pitch. Sort of shows running bunt, withdraws the bat. That was called a ball. Big swing at the second pitch. Comes up empty, 1 ball and 1 strike. One pitch on its way, hit hard into centre field, dying quickly, but Campbell will get in on it. No, he won't field it. It'll bounce in front. He slid in as though he was going to have a play at it, and the ball just died into this breeze, and he didn't get there. It landed in front of him, and Max Brennan in with a base hit.
Wow. That's unusual for Andrew Campbell. So there must have been a bit of breeze, a bit of a change there, and
They've actually put it up as an error, Harrow.
Well, it did go into his glove cam.
Oh, it looked like it half hopped him from here.
No, I think it hit his glove and then hopped out. I think that the ball just died right at the last moment.
He turned, got his glove under it, and just popped
hang on,
back out
it might be under review. They've taken that error off the scoreboard for the moment, so we'll get back to you on that. They put it straight up into the error column on the Bandits, but now it's been taken off the error column at the moment. It may be under revision by the scorers.
Interesting. Okay, interesting.
Either way, Max Brennan stands at first base and has pace. Teasley, very deliberate, watches him and just flicks the arm across, as the left-handers can do at will.
Quick reaction there from Brennan, though, as you would expect. He's a wiry whippet.
Only attempted to steal 1 base and has it on the season to date. And back again.
The mixture of the pickoff moves that Teasley's using at the moment is very effective, because sometimes as a base runner you're looking for the leg lift, whereas if then he takes that quick step off the back, can catch some people out, but hasn't been successful so far tonight.
Teasley to the plate, finds a strike on D'Antonio. Yeah, and those left-handers have also got the advantage of not having to, or not being able to step off the back. If they've got a strong left arm, they can just sort of rock back and use that arm to flick it across there, and sometimes the runners are looking for the foot movement, don't see any of it, and get caught asleep. D'Antonio quickly behind 0-2. This one chopped towards second base. Double play opportunity. They will go to second for 1. They will get back to first base in time. They will turn the 4-6-3 double play. And the Blue Sox, whilst promising again, will go down 3 up, 3 down, this time in the bottom of the 5th. So the Blue Sox add nothing in the bottom of the 5th, and we are done through 5 completed innings here at Blue Sox Stadium, where it is the Bandits and the Blue Sox still locked at 0-0.
Are you struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
And back at Blue Sox Stadium, we're heading to the top of the 6th. We promised you an arm wrestle. We promised you a massive contest between these two clubs, and it is absolutely delivering at the moment. There is nothing between these two clubs, the Bandits and the Blue Sox. They are out for out at the moment. The Bandits have looked the more likely in the early stages of the game, but they have not been able to find a way to get a run across the plate. And the Blue Sox have been battling and struggling, but they hang in there. It is still 0-0 now as we head to the top of the 6th inning. The due-ups for the Bandits, Mike Marjama, Donald Lutz and Jeremy Martinez due up for the Brisbane Bandits.
Yeah, that's right, Cam. It is the battle that we said it would be. It's going to be an arm wrestle all the time. And our research department is in Monica with his family tonight. They'll be there tomorrow night. The Fat Controller, that's, of course, David Bonham, Dave and Vera down there with the kids. And
First pitch, Mihama seed. He just rolls it to Nagope, and Nagope will fire him out at first base. Sounded a little bit dead off the bat. That might be another broken batter for the night.
Certainly did, Cam. We could hear it, and we've got headphones on. It was a really thud. It sounded like a splinter, that's for sure. Got to congratulate Dave Bonham and the family, though. Their young son is getting a big award down there in Canberra.
Oh, there you go.
It's either tonight or tomorrow night. So
that's got to do with his.
They'll be here tomorrow night. So
with
tonight.
with all his computer stuff, isn't it? He's a whiz on the computer doing bits and pieces. He's done some scoreboards and some graphics and stuff for us in the past.
Yeah.
Very talented young man.
He can do that stuff in 5 minutes. So easy.
Donald Lutz in the batter's box, and the Blue Sox shift on him. And again, it is Jakob Nielsen that comes over to the first base side of second base. So you've got Moen Aroa deep at first base. You've got Andy Burns in shallow right field, very deep. You've got Jakob Nielsen in a standard second base position, and Gift Nagope is just roaming out on that shortstop third base. He's really pretty much standing in what you would call the 5-6 hole.
Absolutely, and Michael Campbell, that is right out on the right-hand side of right field as well, because Lutz can turn a ball.
Michael Krause playing on the right field side of centre field too. He's well across. He's probably 15 to 20 metres across.
Absolutely a power hitter, Donald Lutz.
Major leaguer. He bounced around a couple of clubs. I think his final club was the Cincinnati Reds. But has enjoyed his time coming down to Australia for several seasons now.
Oh, yeah.
Big swing and a foul tip off the helmet of Jack Murphy out of play. Lutz now gets it to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Home plate umpire Ben Nash will just come out and dust the plate. Give Jack Murphy a little bit more time just to make sure he's A-OK. Murphy's a tough campaigner. That won't worry him. Lutz set to go now with another 2-2 pitch. A little swing, and Ben Nash is going to say, yeah, you certainly did try to hit it, Donald. Murphy will just apply the tag, and that will be it for Donald Lutz. He will go down on strikes, and 2 gone for the Bandits here, top of the 6th. That'll bring to the plate Jeremy Martinez. Has struck out and hit one to Moen Aroa for a put out at first base in his 2 at-bats so far this evening. Maestri misses with the first pitch to him. He's currently on a 3-game hitting streak, so would like to continue that if he can make something happen here in the latter stages of this game. He swings, not sure if he got a little foul tip, makes no difference. It bounces out of the glove of Murphy.
Interestingly, it's a 3-game hitting streak. However, he's only hit 3 for 10 in the last series.
Correct.
So
He was, I think, from just straight off the top, I think he was 0 for 4 in the first game, and then went sort of 1 for 3, 1 for 4, 1 for 3, or something similar to that. But needs to get something going for the Bandits here. Maestri has retired 9 of the last 10 batters he's faced. This has popped up into foul territory, out of play. Chance in the grandstands for a souvenir ball. No, just going to clear the grandstand. Remember, if you do come out to Blue Sox Stadium, you do grab one of those souvenir balls. You can get any and all of the Blue Sox to sign it after the game if you wish. They all do hang around, and they're more than happy to give you a little bit of time to sign your souvenirs. Martinez, the 2-2 pitch on its way, lined into left field. Nice piece of batting that by Jeremy Martinez, and he will keep that hit streak alive and stretch it to 4 games here on the road in Sydney.
was that my fault? Did I do
that's
that?
your curse.
Okay, all right. There we go.
There's your first curse of the commentator. You want to bring up his hitting streak, and he goes whack it, continues it.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome.
That's going to bring Chris Oxspring onto the mound to have a chat. to LA Maestri. Chris Oxspring, a seasoned veteran around these parts. Spent many seasons playing the top level of professional ball in Korea.
When the Australian women's team played in the 2016 World Cup in Korea, Chris Oxspring hooked us up with some tickets to go and watch the Korean Major League game that or the professional league game that he was coaching in. So we really appreciated that. It was a great experience while we were over in Korea.
It's a different world of baseball over there, isn't it?
Definitely is much louder.
He had a terrific career in the USA, first of all. Then he had a break from that. Then he went back. He went to Korea and played. Then he had a break again and went back to Korea and got another contract after having pitched for the Blue Sox.
A swing and a miss from Wade Dutton. And Oxspring, or Ox as we affectionately call him, probably just going out there just to settle Maestri down and not let him worry about too much.
There is a bit of action down in the Blue Sox bullpen, however.
As this one's fouled off over the grandstand, and you only got to look at the socks to know that that's Van Steensel.
Absolutely. Makes it easy for us up here.
That's it. Wears his socks all the way halfway up his thighs.
Haven't you heard? That's all the fashion now.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
We've gone back to the good old days of having the high socks. Maybe we can bring back gaiters too.
Oh, goodness, no,
Once
please.
upon a time, or as the Americans call them, striders, I think they call them, don't they? This one drilled hard at Andy Burns. He stays down on it nicely, comes up with it. He'll throw Wade Dutton out at first base. And the Bandits will leave one more stranded. They have made a habit of that tonight. Let's hope that doesn't come back to bite them. But still, no runs on the board halfway through the sixth inning. It is the Blue Sox and the Bandits 0-0. Bartercard is the operator of the world's largest trade exchange, where small and medium-sized businesses barter trade in 8 countries across a dynamic mix of industries. Bartercard has revolutionised the way its members do business, from attracting new customers to conserving cash and increasing profits. Bartercard's world-leading system enables members to enhance their businesses through a cashless marketplace. For more information, go to bartercard.com.au and check out all the options. Bartercard are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox. And I think we've got Funky Phil heading around the grandstand throwing water bombs, not at people, but to people. I suppose at people is a little bit more... Funky Phil just wore one for his troubles. It's a little bit of a game. He throws it high into the air. If you catch it with nice soft hands, you can throw it back at him. And if you don't, of course, you wear it. And is often the case. And the cheerleaders getting in on the action, throwing some up into the stands. But Funky Phil's been told if he throws any up here this season, he will be in serious trouble. So as long as he knows his place, all will be good in the world. Sydney Blue Sox chew up Jakob Nielsen, Andy Burns and Bosmo in a row. So the real heart of the Blue Sox lineup this season. Trying to get something going, only have the one hit so far tonight. And it looks like that hit out into centre field in that last innings, out to Andrew Campbell, will probably stand as an error. It doesn't look like it's gone back up on the board as an error at this stage, but looks like it will go into the books officially as an E8. Well, you can do the shout out, Amy. You've got it there.
I've got a shout out here to mention someone's extremely good looks.
But who happen to be your manager at the moment?
Yes, one of our workers, club managers. Thank you very much for the message, Ben Maguire. Glad to see you listening, and keep all those positive comments coming, and I'll keep giving you a shout out.
Yes, Ben Maguire, we appreciate positive comments. Big time. Emphasis on positive.
Ben's a good man, bleeds baseball, and that's all you can ask, that the passion is always there, the knowledge is there, so nice to see him getting into that managerial role and trying to pass on some of that knowledge and passion to future generations.
0-2 pitch now for Eunice.
Swings and misses, and
swings at
Teasley
that
has
one.
another one.
Goes down with a big swinging K2, the lead off for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of 6.
He's been good tonight on the mound so far, Teasley, hasn't he?
He certainly has. That brings Andy Burns to the plate for the Blue Sox.
Andy Burns, he's 1 for 2. Base hit to left field and a fly. He goes down the left field line again, but foul on this occasion. Teasley throwing a gem for the Bandits tonight. Oh, that hit hard by Burns. But that'll disappear into the car park and long gone over the back. Hopefully that doesn't end up in the front seat of somebody's vehicle.
Absolutely. Quick hands on an inside pitch.
It's one thing to get a souvenir. It's another one to get a souvenir on the front seat of your car when you return to it.
And a hole in the middle of the windscreen. Instant air conditioning.
0-2 pitch in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Burns.
So wisely, Teasley goes outside. Trying to get him to swing again, obviously.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back with that breaking pitch low and inside. He's thrown it so well tonight, Teasley. Goes fastball, challenges him and blows it by him. So another K2 for Rick Teasley. And he really is dealing on the mound for the Bandits tonight.
Not a lot of long innings. The longest inning he's had was facing 5 batters.
The
rest have been 3 and 4.
I've got him with 6 Ks so far through these 5 2/3 innings so far. But as we say, has only given up the 1 hit. And that is amazing against a Blue Sox lineup with the power and the likes of a Eunice and Burns, Moen Aroa, Nagope and Michael Krause in the middle of that lineup. That is a very strong batting lineup to give up 1 hit. Broken batter, the bat goes everywhere. The ball flares out into shallow right, and it will be Wade Dutton out on the grass. He will get to that ball in shallow centre right. The bat ended up in shallow right field, the ball in shallow right centre. They were playing the shift, and it's Wade Dutton, who was way back on the grass in shallow right field, who will make tremendous ground around, and Dutton will make that out on Moen Aroa to end the inning.
Very glad Sutherland was watching then. He could have worn that in his head.
I watched the bat. I took my eyes off the ball and watched the bat, and the bat nearly speared him, I'll tell you now. He actually stumbled over it because he didn't realise where it was. That was a situation, let me tell you. It's lucky he's as tall as he is. We mentioned his height, and he was running away towards the ball anyway, but the ball landed basically between his legs, but I thought at one stage probably up around belt height it might have got him as well. It was still spinning. Wow. Shattered after 6 innings. No score on the board between the Blue Sox and the Brisbane Bandits.
In 1928, Petrus Cornelis Nicholas Middendorp founded his business, Middendorp Electric Goods Supply Company, selling imported light globes, vacuum cleaners and other electrical products. Business began booming, so Petrus and his sons opened the first Middendorp branch in a converted church on La Trobe Street in Melbourne in 1956. This was the first of many branches that would eventually spread across the country, trading as middies in its signature pink colour.
So back for the top of the 7th inning, and a change on the mound. You can see there in your picture the high socks of number 25 for the Sydney, 21 for the Sydney Blue Sox. TVS Todd Van Steensel onto the mound for the Blue Sox. So Todd going through his warm-up pitches. Been off to a fairly good start for him, having pitched in 4 games in relief so far, 7.2 innings. Has 11 strikeouts in those innings, so is motoring along very nicely. Is very difficult to hit. Has been used as a middle/setup reliever for the Blue Sox this season, more so than his usual closer role. But he is now ready to go, and he will be facing the number 9 hitter, David Sutherland.
That's him. Big Dave Sutherland, nicknamed Goofy since he was a youngster. And left-handed hitter's box, as you can see, and he loves it. He loves that nickname. Van Steensel starting to deal from the mound there on the lefty. One ball only on Sutherland. For a single to right field, and what a single it was in the fourth inning, top of 4. Got on base in his first appearance, top of the second inning, I should say, with an error at first base. Bit of a mix-up between first base Moanaroa and Ali Maestri on a pitcher's cover play. Pops one up on the infield. Underneath it, Moanaroa chases it to foul territory. Jack Murphy calls him off.
Good thing Moanaroa worked it out in the end. He was going to run straight over the top or straight through Jack Murphy, and Murphy tiptoeing him around him at the end.
All Murphy could hear was the footsteps coming. It sounded like a herd of horses.
And the heavy breathing of the horses of the apocalypse.
Some nice twinkle toes there by Jack Murphy to avoid standing on Moanaroa there.
Boss just dropped to his feet.
Look, he was there if Murphy had have dropped it. He was there for the second attempt.
Foul fly ball to position 2.
Or trying to stop. Not quite sure.
Andrew Soupy Campbell, centre fielder for the Bandits, back to the top of the order. We're in the top of the 7th inning with 1 out on the Bandits. The change on the mound for the Blue Sox, Todd Van Steensel is the guy dealing up there at the moment on the top of the hill. Great shot from our centre field camera. The smoke started to lift a little away from the ground and blowing that also the bushfire smell away. It's been very bad across the state of New South Wales and lower Queensland actually. Queensland has been hit with very heavy bushfires as well during the same period. Today there were firefighters flying in from Canada and the USA. So Campbell drives one foul opposite field down the third base side and way over the top of the Bandits bullpen. So go lefty from Sutherland, lefty with Campbell, lefty with Logan Wade will be following him. As Campbell awaits the next pitch, it's a 2-1 pitch. This one goes foul into the bullpen this time. Well, nobody flinched. It must have missed something.
A little bit of action down in Geelong, Korea, and not a good place to be if you're a Geelong, Korea supporter. Adelaide Giants decided to go down there this weekend, and I think today they've put every number on the board in the 7 innings that they've had so far. They've got a 1, a 2, a 4, a 6 and an 8.
Wow.
They currently lead at 25-2 in the 7th inning.
No.
A new franchise record for the Giants. They've never scored 25 runs in a game.
They must have been frustrated with last week's result out of Sydney.
Oh, they were. Don't worry about that. They were very frustrated.
No.
So 25-2 they lead Geelong, Korea.
It's a typo.
And the Aces leading the Perth Heat 3-1. No, there was a grand slam just hit by Logan O'Hoppy. Curtis Mead with a 2-run bomb. So home runs flying left, right and centre out of Geelong.
Stop the game. Oh, it goes down swinging. Van Steensel deals up a strike there on Andrew Campbell. Got him swinging. K2, nice pitch selection between Murphy and Todd Van Steensel. So 2 up, 2 down. The Bandits in the top of the 7th inning here from Blue Sox Stadium, where you're listening to the Blue Crew, broadcasting on bluesox.tv over YouTube, brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia. Logan Wade at the plate now for the Bandits. Oh, nice fastball inside from Van Steensel. Gets him swinging hard.
Quite often throws that fastball in the 90s. He did have it up to about 94, 95 miles per hour with the Saints back over there in the USA last year. Regularly clocking in at 94, 95 miles per hour.
And then backs it off a bit, but goes and leaves it a little high outside. A little bit of walk-up music for Logan Wade.
I think these were pretty much the songs we used last year, Harrow, the Logan song.
I would say so. High fly ball centre field, and Gopay goes back and catches it. Gift and Gopay on the back foot, running backwards in front of a charging Michael Krause. But Gift and Gopay calls everybody off, says, I got this covered, guys. Mr. Cool gets the out himself. The third out here in the top of the 7th innings. The Bandits go 3 up, 3 down with a fly ball to shortstop. Almost located in centre field, I might add. No score on the board between the Bandits and the Sydney Blue Sox. And welcome back to the action here. Rick Teasley returns to the mound for the Bandits. And the lead-off for the Sox is their shortstop, Gift and Gopay. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Teasley waits patiently on the attack already, standing dominant on the mound. And missing out of the zone. Up a little maybe on that one. Difficult to judge height of a pitch from our position, of course, straight over the home plate at the back. And cuts the outside edge that time, does Teasley, after making the adjustment. So a 1-1 count. 1 ball, 1 strike on Gift and Gopay.
Just in that Geelong-Adelaide game, Adelaide have hit 6 home runs.
Gee.
2 of those have been grand slams. Hence the fact that the score is blown out
eight runs straight up
to 25. Yeah.
Wow. That's frightening.
Rickson Wingrove and Logan O'Hoppy with the grand slams.
Yes, my dad is a Geelong Korea supporter. He lives down in Geelong, and I messaged him asking if he was at the game, and his response was unfortunately.
Yeah, Curtis Mead with a 2-run homer. Eric Peterson with a solo shot. Logan O'Hoppy, 2 home runs in the one game. He hit one in the top of the first as well.
We've got Rellos in Geelong. I don't tell many people that.
So
Geelong's a beautiful part of the world.
Never been there.
That's all right.
Is it obvious? I've never been there.
Apart from the fact it closes at 9 p.m.
And Gopay drives one to centre left field. Getting out there after it. They're still chasing
He'll
it.
get to 3.
They've booted it around. He will stand at third base. Will stand at third base. Gift and Gopay. And that's what the Bandits were worried about. Early in the game, Amy picked it out. They would not throw to him. They threw to him in his third appearance, and he comes up with a triple. Wow, probably a double.
Yeah, I was going to say a triple's a little bit of a long shot there, but...
We'll call it a double too, and I'm not sure who followed it to chase it. I think it was Andrew Campbell ended up cutting across as they crossed over each other, the outfielders. Either way, it's a double. And then he gets to third base on the error in the field out there. So lead off at third base. You think Sydney might be able to be creative enough to get that run across home plate. We go to Michael Krause now. He steps in. Missing. Teasley's baffled, doesn't know where that was. He's looking as though he's asking the question to his catcher, Jeremy Martinez, to check with that, but no, he reached way inside the
time tonight. Teasley's looked a little bit rattled on the mound. He has looked perfect all night long. Then all of a sudden, he's now questioned, the first time he's questioned a call tonight.
So he made an adjustment in height that time, but direction was almost exactly the same.
Infield playing in. They do not want this run to score on a ground ball.
And if it gets through the infield, it's a run anyway. So you're right, Cam. Good call defensively. And it gets through the infield, straight over the top of Mike Mihama at third. Deep into left field, Tim Colwell retrieves it, and he turns it into a double. Michael Krause with a double to left field side. He drives in the first run in this game in the bottom of the 7th innings for the Blue Sox. Gift and Kopay, Carosses for the first run of the game and for the Sydney Blue Sox. They go ahead of the Brisbane Bandits by 1-0.
Oh, massive RBI that for Michael Krause. And again, of course, one of the great sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox, RBI Australia, and their fantastic hitting facility down there in Smeaton Grange. They've got everything. They've got the new Hit Tracks, which is a simulator, so that you can test out how far you think you can hit a ball. Live batting cages,
pinch hitter
and
for Sydney,
all the
number
equipment
20.
you could want. That's Connor McDonald.
Comes in for Michael Campbell.
Lots of action in the Brisbane Bandits bullpen too. It's going to bring about a meeting on the mound. The Bandits are going to have a chat about it, and it's going to be the skipper heading out there. Dave Nielsen will go out and have a chat to them about it.
Well, that means he's done, I would say. If the skipper goes out, it's usually the pitching coach.
Usually it is. He's thrown a hell of a game. He does take the ball off him, taps him on the back, says, mate, you have thrown one hell of a game tonight, Rick, but you're done.
And that he did. They go into the pen with probably a reasonable amount of warm-up time as well, I would suggest. It's the big guy. Which big guy is it, though? We will find out very shortly. We've got the list here. I'm wondering if
uniform
it might
40.
be
I
Sam
believe
Holland.
it is Sam Holland.
Yeah, that's him. I thought it was him. Big, tall guy. Sam Holland comes in.
He was stretching my long distance vision, and comes gets out his binoculars. There we go. That's experience in the broadcasting booth for you right there.
That's an old guy with bad eyes. That's what it is.
I was trying to give you a bit of credit, but that's fun as well.
We're not used to that.
It's amazing how in the last 4 or 5 years you turn sort of 40 and you start to get older. That you never thought I would need glasses, but I now need glasses, and I also now need binoculars.
Oh, I'm holding my tongue. I'm not saying anything.
So Sam Holland with a very obvious difference in pitching action to what the Blue Sox have seen so far tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how the Blue Sox adjust to this new pitching and see if they can keep the hits rolling.
Yeah, so the first move was made by Sydney. They showed their hand. They got a runner at second in scoring position. They've got the only run of the game. And they bring in a hitter like Connor McDonald to put pressure on. So the reply to that from Dave Nielsen, of course, is to change pitcher. Rick Teasley has done an outstanding job, and Sam Holland will come in and try to stop this attack from the Sydney Blue Sox. More to happen yet. So with a runner in scoring position, if Sydney can get something through the infield again, keep this attack on, keep the pressure on. But the change now is for Sam Holland, and he's a very handy guy to bring up to the hill. Big, tall guy, 6'4" of him. And he can certainly do a job. So the pressure's on. This is the game we talked about, the pressure of these two sides. Arm wrestling to the end of this game.
Mike, sorry, Harry, I was just going to say Mike Bolsenbrook also up throwing hard in the Bandits' pen.
Pivots are back for the Bandits, but Holland still stepped off and tried to wrong foot the runner out there, Gift and Gopay. Actually, there's a runner out there is Michael Krause.
No, Michael Krause, yes.
And Gopay's in the dugout. He scored the run.
Yeah, Campbell drove him in. Picked up yet another RBI for Michael Krause. A little bit of sidearm action from Holland on that occasion.
So it will be an interesting battle through to the end of this game. Brisbane, of course, looking to shut down the attack, and they'll be looking to get a run back. McDonald gets one down the third base side, and it's Mihama fields that, gets it across to Sutherland at first for a ground ball out down the third base side.
Oh, how well played was that from Mike Mihama. Hopefully you got a good look at that. He was going to charge it and then all of a sudden realised he was in trouble. He wasn't going to reach it by the bounce and then backpedaled, backed away far enough that he was able to wait for it to bounce, read the spin, and still had time to make the play.
Yeah, they still got that all-important first out. The runner still at second base is Michael Krause for Sydney. Connor McDonald out after hitting a hard ball, and that brings to the plate Jack Murphy.
Murph been struggling with the bat a little bit these last couple of seasons. I know he wants to do better. He's always thriving to do a little bit better. Batting average is just a little bit over the buck mark at the moment. $1.20 coming in and 0 for 2 tonight.
A couple of more messages coming in. We'll get to those shortly. Holland looks the runner back a couple of times. Comes to Murphy at the plate for a strike. Bottom half of the zone. Murphy not necessarily in agreement with that call. So there it was, probably across the top of the knees.
Well, he's had more experience with the strike zone than anybody else in this game so far. He should know where it is.
Gets bat to ball on that one, opposite field. Down to Mihama again at third base side. He gets the out on a sliding Michael Krause. Well fielded, Mike Mihama.
Some interesting base running there by Michael Krause.
Well, interesting is a nice word.
Look, I think he was just trying to catch Mike Mihama, just going through the routines and trying to get the routine out, but just a smart baseball player over there and saw him coming and made the
just needed to hang on another couple of microseconds, didn't he? Make Mihama commit to the throw.
That's it.
And then take off, but he didn't. He took off a fraction early. Mihama said, well, I can toast him here. I can pick off their lead off, take away the threat of a run. Mihama did that.
And Murphy on with a fielder's choice to third base, of course. That brings to the plate Max Brennan at the bottom of the order, and 2 out now. Sydney maybe not in the advantage they had. The runners at first base now, with Krause being lost at third.
They've got that all-important run arrow.
Max Brennan at the plate, 2 balls. The 2-0 pitch will be coming from Sam Holland. Holland fights back with a strike there on Brennan. Looks in hard at Martinez to get his signs for the next pitch. And gets a strike out of that one inside, painting the edge as well on the inside that time on Brennan.
Didn't see too much wrong with that pitch.
No, absolutely perfect from here.
We often talk about that inside corner at Blacktown International Sports Park, and that's exactly where it was.
2-2 pitch now. Brennan gets bat to ball. Tipped by Holland on the way through. Fielded by Logan Wade, as easy as you like. Steps on the bag and gets that out. The put out at second base by Logan Wade brings to an end the Sydney attack here in the bottom of the 7th innings. But as Cam mentioned earlier, the all-important go-ahead run has been scored in the bottom of the 7th inning here at Blue Sox Stadium. It is Sydney leading Brisbane by 1-0.
Struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
Yes, they certainly are. Welcome back to the action at Blue Sox Stadium, where the drama has taken place with Sydney breaking open this game with 1 run on the board, and that might be all it takes. But do you think Brisbane are going to give up? Not on your Nelly. We go to the top of the 8th, and the lead-off for the Bandits will be Tim Colwell, their third batter in order.
All right, little bit of a... sorry, Amy, just going to say a defensive change for the Blue Sox. We saw Connor McDonald come into the game to replace Michael Campbell, pinch hitting. So Michael Campbell has left the game. Max Brennan has headed over to right field.
Yep.
And Alex Howe has headed out to left field.
Excellent. Thanks, Cam. Good pickup. So Howe will come in for McDonald, I guess.
He comes in for Connor McDonald. That is correct. You heard Shane Barclay just on that, the interview we had pre-game, saying that Michael Campbell came out okay after colliding heavily with that right field wall in Game 4 against the Giants. So maybe just taking a few precautions and giving him an early night.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he's got plenty of guys there that can do the job, so why not use them? Alex Howe's very handy, got a good set of wheels out there in left field. Max Brennan can undoubtedly cover right. TVS has gone through his warm-up. Jack Murphy's had his throw over, and Tim Colwell for the Bandits strides to the plate.
Again, a shout out to the Merrill family and granddad Ian. They said, what better gift could you have for a 66th birthday than a gift go-ahead?
There's a positive for you. Colwell in the lefties box, facing his first pitch from Todd Van Steensel for the night. And he rips that through to right field side. Wow. Turned on that one. Quick hands, Colwell. No way Burns or Moanaraoa could get to that one. He found the gap and opened it up out to right fielder Max Brennan now.
You know what Colwell was sitting on? He was waiting on a TVS 95 mile an hour fastball, and that's exactly what TVS delivered to him. He laces it out to right field.
Here's the Bandits with the comeback plays.
That's exactly right. We saw the Blue Sox take the lead. Now watch the Bandits bounce back with the runner on first.
Mitch Nielsen at the plate. Another lefty. Lefty to lefty to lefty.
This is where, Amy, you were saying earlier, with the trouble we gave to Mitch and all that sort of stuff. Here's Mitch's chance to hurt the Blue Sox.
Well, look, it could happen. We'll see.
Strikeout, ground out. He's a DH tonight. Plays the designated hitter role well under usual circumstances. So very patient with that pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mitch Nielsen. The Van Steensel style, he tucks himself in there up on the mound. Wears the hat low, front of the cap's down low. Checks the runner at first, Colwell. And gets Nielsen swinging hard on that one. Great shot from over the shoulder on our centre field camera. Crowd getting behind the Blue Sox here. The night getting markedly cooler as we get deeper into it. It's gone 9:40 p.m. here in Sydney, Eastern Daylight Saving Time. 20 minutes to 10. So the battle between Mitch Nielsen and Todd Van Steensel continues with a runner at first. The tempo slows down just a fraction.
Always does when Todd's on the mound. He's a very deliberate pitcher. He takes a long time looking in over his glove and over his shoulder at the catcher and goes through a very deliberate routine. So often gets stolen bases against him because he is so deliberate, and that's what the Bandits might be looking at here.
Or will go foul way over the Bandits' bullpen down the left field side.
Colwell has only attempted to steal one base and he got it. So I wouldn't be surprised if he gets put in motion either here with the 2-2 pitch. I almost certainly think with a 3-2 pitch they would probably put him in motion.
Yeah, all the signs going from the dugout to the third base coach. And
Not so sure with none out and the score being 1-0.
Got to get him into scoring position.
They do, but they also want to do that without too much risk.
Comebacker. Double play.
Put him in motion. Please put him in motion.
That's a discussion you two can solve the answer to that problem. But Sydney do get 2 out now on the Bandits. The first out, Tim Colwell, and the second is Mitch Nielsen out at first on the double play. And what were the lottery numbers, Cam? It was 1. I know it started with 1.
Yeah, 1 to 6 to 3.
1 to 6 to 3. The simple numbers. First out, Colwell on a charge.
What a way to destroy a rally. Ground into a double play.
So if he had his wheels in motion, Cam, he might have stood a chance.
He would certainly have, because Van Steensel would have turned around and then all of a sudden would have panicked and then just gone straight to first base. So, but as I said, I probably wouldn't have put him in motion till the count was full. It never got to a full count, so it is all relevant in the end. The double play has been turned by the Blue Sox, and the Bandits now with 2 out in the top of the 8th, down to 4 outs to try and find this run.
The initial attack snuffed out by the Blue Sox in the top of the 8th inning. With a runner on and 1 at the plate. They got 2 out now instead of 2 on. Mike Mihama is at the plate. The third baseman should be pretty handy with the stick, one would think.
So we've seen in the last series, very handy with the stick. So we'll see what he comes up with in this at-bat in the late stages of the game.
Thanks, Amy. It hasn't happened so far tonight. He's grounded out to shortstop twice and put out at third base.
But we have seen him put a ball into the cricket field, which is a good 500, 600 feet away from home
Correct.
plate.
Now facing Van Steensel for the first time.
Quick around the ground scores. The early game over in Auckland. The Tuatara beat the Cavalry 4-0. Down there in Geelong, the Koreans have struck back. It's now 25-4.
Ooh, getting close.
So the comeback on the cards there for the Koreans. Down in Melbourne, the Aces lead the Heat 3-1. Of course, here it is 1-0. The Blue Sox over the Bandits.
What inning is it in the Korean game, pray tell?
They are into the 8th inning there, Harrow.
Thank
Bottom
God.
of the 8th.
Oh, half hopper.
Yeah, Van Steensel with 2 59-foot fastballs in a row.
Jack will be going out for a talk to him soon to get the ointment to remove the bruising.
Of course, last night the Cavalry beating the Tuatara 7-5. And last night the Geelong Korean team too good for the Giants 8-2. So a little bit of revenge for the Giants tonight.
Wow. Something went wrong big time down there. Is that Sid the Sock with a cowbell going again?
Yes, right down in front of us.
Right. 2-2 pitch on Mihama. Fouled off.
Van Steensel happy with that breaking pitch. He bounced off the mound after it. Either that or he tripped over. One or the two. And he will tell you he bounced off the mound.
We'll let our viewers make their mind up on that one. Okay. Van Steensel resets. Mike Mihama steps in.
High fastball. Challenge him. He's a big league
Can
kicker.
Mihama keep something going for the Bandits? Missing low and outside. Low and away for Van Steensel that time.
Well, you're right with the fastball there, but just not the
Fills.
location you're after.
Fills the count.
I'd have gone up the ladder and see whether I could have got him to chase one of my 95 mile-an-hour fastballs. Now I think Van Steensel will go to his slider. That's his out pitch.
And he gets it. So he shuts down the Bandits' attack here in the top of the 8th inning. Nice pitch, Todd Van Steensel. That's the one to get it. Cam called it. A big K2 shuts the Bandits down in the top of the 8th innings. And halfway through 8, it is Sydney 1 leading the Brisbane Bandits. No runs.
Don't forget, this is game 1 of a 4-game series, a massive doubleheader, the big doubleheader, the first doubleheader of the season here at Blue Sox Stadium tomorrow night. So get yourself out here. Gates open at 2:30 for the cost of your general entry ticket. General admission ticket, $10. You can stay all night long and watch 16 inning of baseball. A 7-inning game to start with at 3:30, followed by a 9-inning game at the earliest of 6:30. So plenty of baseball tomorrow out here at Blue Sox Stadium. It is a baseball extravaganza here at Blacktown tomorrow afternoon. So get yourself out here, make a night of it. Enjoy so much baseball, you can barely get enough of it here at Blacktown in what promises to be a really cracking series. The Blue Sox marginally in front. Change on the mound for the Brisbane Bandits. And it is number 50 coming onto the mound for them. That is Mike Bolsenbrook. And Mike Bolsenbrook will head out onto the mound.
Yeah, you called him earlier, Cam. He's been in the pen for a while, getting warm, so he should be pretty good. And you would think for him to close it out, he's going to have to be good.
Well, it might be the last 3 outs he has to throw unless the Bandits can find a run in the top part of the 9th inning.
So we've got a couple of more messages. I think that's the only change by the look of it.
Oh,
Mike
have we had our
Bolsenbrook
last joke?
is from the Netherlands. You had a joke up your sleeve there.
We did have another joke. Where was that? Here it is here.
Why are baseball games at night? The bats sleep during the day.
And then he pocket dialed me. Joe Vella, great broadcast guys. I'm a big fan of Alessandro, a consummate professional. Good on you, Joe. Joe Vella, of course, the official photographer.
SMP Images. You can see all of his photographs all over the baseball websites, the ABL website, the Sydney Blue Sox website. Does a fantastic job with that camera of his. Mike Bolsenbrook was in the Phillies organisation, as I said, from the Netherlands. This one hit hard. Trent D'Antonio with a chance, but the wind blowing in that way. And this is where home runs go to die. Caught on the warning track in deep right field by Donald Lutz. I tell you what, if that had have been Sunday afternoon last week or Saturday evening last week, that ball was out of here.
Gone. Trent D'Antonio would have lifted it for sure. It would have kept going.
Not tonight, however.
David Bonham, I think, I'm not even going to say that, Dave. That's, gee whiz, 9:40 in Sydney. Yes, it is. But he mentioned it's a different time in Brisbane. Different year, in fact.
It's not 1960. It's usually the joke that Dave comes up with.
Thanks, Dave. Glad you're enjoying the broadcast. I've got to live there. Leave me alone.
You've got to get back into the town. Oh, what a catch. David Sutherland.
Oh, yeah.
Jakob Nielsen cannot believe he's been robbed of at least a double. Good thing he's 6'6" because he needed every inch of his 8-foot reach to catch that diving towards the line. It was a base hit for all money for Jakob Nielsen, and Sutherland steals it off him at first.
Yeah, not the first time he's done it. The leap of faith. He knew he had it covered, and there it was, right in the meat of the glove.
It was a lovely soft landing for him too, actually.
He knows how to do it.
Yeah, it was very impressive.
2 up, 2 down for the Blue Sox here in the bottom of 8. Brings to the plate Andy Burns. Can Andy get something going here for the Sox? Maybe build something up. They lead by 1 run only. Oh, he certainly can get bat to ball. He saw that out of the hand of Mike Bolsenbrook. Bolsenbroek's he's only 6'8". I won't be interviewing him after the game either.
Not unless we get you a step ladder.
And something, yeah, with 3 steps on it. 5'8".
A bit of scaffolding, perhaps.
6'8". Jeez.
I still remember.
I'm 5'6" on a good day.
I was going to say, I still remember one of our former colleagues trying to interview Luke Van Milt a few seasons ago. And, same sort of thing. Luke Van Milt was about, I think he was 7'1" from memory. And, it was... he took a milk crate out and still only came up to his shoulders.
I think there was a wide shot of the milk crate too.
There was a sneaky shot of the milk crate.
As you would expect.
So Andy Burns on a 2-2 pitch from Bolsenbroek. Drives it down the third base side. Grabbed by Mihama, gets it across to Sutherland. And that is the end of the innings for the Sydney Blue Sox. Their night is done in the bottom of the 8th inning. And they still have the 9th inning to go. They are 3 outs away from a Game 1 win here from Blue Sox Stadium.
For all your printer and copier needs, speak to the professionals at Mitronics. Mitronics are Australia's largest brand independent office equipment and supplies company. Mitronics are proud to be wholly Australian owned and operated and stock all the best and most famous brands of printers and copiers. Mitronics guarantee to better any valid Australian quote, so you can be sure you're getting the best value and service when you buy or lease your chosen products from Mitronics. So jump online and check out the massive range of printers and copiers and all of the services provided by Mitronics at mitronics.com.au. Mitronics are proud sponsors of the Sydney Blue Sox.
To come on to pitch for the Sydney Blue Sox, we have number 41, Tyrell Harris. Tyrell got a start in the last series and did a fantastic job on the bounce. So
much for my theory that he might have started the 7-inning game tomorrow.
Absolutely, but
that one's out the window.
Very important job that he has to do here in the end of this game to try and keep the Bandits from scoring.
So that will make it interesting to see how Shane Barclay uses his pen and as starters, etc. tomorrow. He's brought a couple of young pitchers into the lineup. See whether he maybe tries one of them tomorrow for a couple of innings in the 7-inning game.
You think he might go down the line of some of the development guys?
Well, we saw Brad Simon throw an inning or two in relief, and he was very good. You've brought Blake Cavill into the lineup for the Blue Sox, bringing up as a development player. So whether or not he tries that, whether he goes back to having, say, a Mac Marksbury, maybe lead off that 7-inning game.
He's got a few
Ryan
guys
Zimmerman,
in there, hasn't he? He's got Vaughan Harris as well up his sleeve, Todd Grattan. He's got a good bullpen.
So it'll be interesting to see what he does with that 7-inning game tomorrow. But more importantly, in front of us, we have the 9th inning. The Bandits are 3 outs away from going down in Game 1 of the series. A shout out to Daniel Hughes, just saying that we've just missed the Goofies catch at first and the catch in the outfield, but we will do what we can to get a few more cameras to get that stuff covered. Unfortunately, we don't have any camera operators. We just don't have the manpower available at the moment. We are very limited on manpower, but we will do what we can in the coming series, Daniel, to try and improve that a little bit for you.
Bring
Top
it home,
of the 9th. Tyrell Harris to start off against Donald Lutz. Jeremy Martinez in the on-deck circle and Wade Dutton in the hole.
That's easy for you to say.
The unducked Dickel. Oh, nice pitch that from Harris. Went with the curveball. Lutz swings through. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You must have been thinking of Goofy.
I was getting down to Wade Dutton, so I had Dutton on the mind and tried to get the on-deck circle and got the on-duck circle. Although we have seen the Ducks wander across Blue Sox Stadium on several occasions, so perhaps it is an on-duck circle.
Enormous last week.
1-1 pitch from Harris, misses outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bandits, can they find something here? Top of the ninth. 2-1 fastball. Lutz went after it, came up empty. Wow, that was going to travel a long, long way if Donald Lutz had have squared up on that one. He didn't. The count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Harris goes fastball again, blows it by Lutz and gets a first out here in the top of the ninth. A big out and a little fist pump from Terrell Harris as he wanders off the mound.
That was a hard swing too. Lutz wanted to drive that through the fence. Wow. Jeremy Martinez steps in now.
Martinez takes the first pitch for a ball. Blue Sox fans starting to get on their feet, trying to ride home the home team here in the top of the ninth. Harris fires in another fastball. Maybe that's what Murphy said, just challenge them, just throw fastballs. Gets him to foul it off, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tyrell Harris from Compton in California. Reaches back, fires a 1-1 pitch which misses outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Taking plenty of time, Jeremy Martinez. He's in no rush. Happy to keep Harris waiting on the mound. 2-1 pitch. Hit straight at Ngope. Has to back up. Takes it on the grass. Has a strong arm across the Moana rower for the out. A nice play from Gift Ngope. He wanted to charge it. Realised if he came forward he was going to be half hop, so he backed off quickly onto the grass, got a friendly bounce and makes the out at first.
He's as good a shortstop as I've seen, I think. Like, he just makes that look so easy. He could have been peeling potatoes or something.
Well, there was.
He just throws it across flat as you like.
There have been a couple in the ABL that have been that same sort of quality. One's now currently playing for the New York Yankees by the name of Didi Gregorius.
Never in doubt.
And the other one played for the Perth Heat by the name of Joey Wong. He was incredible. He was phenomenal, some of the things Joey could do.
I've still got the replay of the Gregorius play when you guys were in doubt of him making a play. So it was never in doubt.
Wade Dutton now. Is he going to be the final out of the game for the Bandits? Strides to the plate to try and keep things going. Harris starts him with a strike. The T-Dog, Tyrell, trying to close things out for the Blue Sox. Did he swing? Ben Nash isn't going to even ask the question. Ben Nash said, I saw it from back here. Strike 2. The Bandits, they're into the last chance saloon. They're down to their last strike. 0-2 the count on Wade Dutton. The 0-2 pitch is outside and the crowd sighs and groans. They were hoping that was going to be the end of things. Not to be. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harris set again now for a 1-2 pitch. And out of the box steps Dutton. Again, the Bandits are in no rush. They have to make something happen. Harris sets for the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swung through by Wade Dutton and the Blue Sox win it. The Blue Sox will shut out the Bandits and take this game 1-0. That's right, a 1-run ball game here at Blue Sox Stadium, and a tremendous performance from both teams. In the end, It basically came down to one error, a booted ball in the outfield, which let Nagope get from second to third, and that was enough for Michael Krause to drive him in, and the Blue Sox hang on to win it 1-0.
Yeah, absolutely sensational result for the Blue Sox to take game one off the Bandits, especially at home, and this is going to set the scene for the next 2 days. Of course, we've got a double header tomorrow here starting at 3:30 in the afternoon Eastern Daylight Saving Time, followed by a 6:30 game with a half-hour break in between. It's going to be a big weekend of baseball here at Blue Sox Stadium. If you can get here, then get here and be a part of the action. Join the crowd in person out here. You can get your food, you can get your drinks. Don't bring anything with you. Bring a baseball cap and a glove to get those balls. We've got the kids going around the infield now, and this is what happens at the end of every Blue Sox game. And they have a ball while the guys start to clean the field up. They need to be careful. They'll get trampled, those groundsmen. But, yeah, they're getting the covers on because there could be a little sprinkle of rain tonight, but very, very doubtful. The wind has changed direction. Everything's cooled off. We hope the fires are under control out in the west.
Yeah, we hope that helps the firefighters, that change of direction of the breeze. Let's hope it helps them get some of them under control and alleviate the threat. It has been a terrible sort of last week or so in Sydney, and probably going closer to the last month in Sydney in terms of the fires that have been in and around the Sydney area. But again, we thank all of the fire crews, the volunteers, the RFS guys, that do all of that hard work to keep all the property and the people safe.
Absolutely. We might just take a quick word from our sponsors and our advertisers so that we can just thank them for their efforts as well today.
And then we'll come back with a wrap and a preview of games 2 and 3.
Absolutely.
Struggling with the rising cost of power? You are not alone. Over 2 million Australian homes have now installed solar. The average size solar system can save you around $500 a quarter, add value to your home and reduce your carbon footprint. SolarAy is Australia's largest independent solar and storage installer, located right here in Blacktown. Talk to the team at SolarAy to find out if solar is right for you. Visit solaray.com.au/Blue Sox today. SolarAy Energy, proud sponsors of your Sydney Blue Sox.
Petrus Cornelis Nicholas Middendorp founded his business, Middendorp Electric Goods Supply Company, selling imported light globes, vacuum cleaners and other electrical products. Business began booming, so Petrus and his sons opened the first Middendorp branch in a converted church on La Trobe Street in Melbourne in 1956. This was the first of many branches that would eventually spread across the country, trading as Middies in its signature pink colour.
And welcome back to Blue Sox Stadium, where you're listening to the Blue Crew from Sports Broadcasting Australia. We are going to wrap things up a little, and we can tell you the progress scores in other games, and if not progress scores, then the final scores. Of course, the score here, Sydney Blue Sox 1 against Brisbane Bandits 0 in a fantastic 9 innings game of baseball. Well, 8.5 for Sydney. They didn't have to go out for the bottom of the ninth, and of course they had a very, very good result. In Perth, between Perth Heat and the Aces.
You've got it up too. I was going to say,
I do have the game up already.
That game should be finished.
Yeah, 3-1 to Melbourne.
Correct.
And then the other game, Geelong Career and Adelaide. Well, that was just a blowout, 25-4.
And that
in
one's done
favour
too.
of Adelaide.
But mind you, Harrow, have a look at the line for the Giants. 25 runs on 26 hits.
Yeah, so you mentioned 2 Grand Slams. There's 8 runs.
And a 2-run shot for...
Yep. There was 8 runs in the 3rd innings and 6 runs scored in the 6th inning. It's 14 runs in 2 innings. That's going to cripple any team. Just totally demoralising.
Oh, yes.
And then Canberra Cavalry and Auckland Tuatara. Was that a 7-inning game, Cam, or is that still in progress?
All 7-inning games out of Auckland this year, mate. That was a proviso of Sky Sports doing the broadcasts over there. And our mate Chris Coleman's gone across to help them with the broadcasts.
They should have Sports Broadcasting Australia doing it. I can't talk Kiwi, though.
We'd stay all 9, wouldn't we? We'd be there for all 9.
We'd be there for
even,
9.
Even if it only goes 7, we'd still be there for 9.
No matter what. 4-0 Tuatara over the Canberra Cavalry. So Tuatara get up there. That's good to see.
And that has a big influence on the Northeast Division too, because the Tuatara were 1 win out of 9 games previously. And, of course, the Blue Sox and the Bandits were 4-4 on top of the ladder. And as a result of them, the Tuatara beating the Cavalry, it just drops the Cavalry a little bit further out of that battle for first between the Bandits and the Blue Sox, which will decide, just in the early stages anyway, the leader of this Northeast Division.
Yeah, it certainly does. So it's going to be an interesting weekend this weekend, a mixture of games amongst a mixture of results.
And you've got inter-division play. You've got the Cavalry versus the Tuatara, the Blue Sox and the Bandits. And, of course, you've got the Heat, the Aces, the Giants and the Koreans all playing in amongst their own division to try and sort out their own division a little bit more.
Absolutely. So we're going to wrap things up now, I think, at this time of night. It's just gone, or coming up to 10 minutes past 10 on this wonderful Friday night that is very comfortable out here in the skybox at
Got to thank
Blue Sox Stadium.
all of our listeners and viewers for chiming in, whether it be the SMS or the tweets. It's great to have that fan interaction. That's one of the reasons we're up here. So thank you so much for sending either your SMS or your tweets. We really do appreciate them.
Certainly do. And a couple of big thank yous to our background guys, Owen and Oscar Talauta, who are doing our technical stuff for us this year. Oscar and Owen doing a fantastic job. Our technical department, we'll officially call them. And the Talauta boys, they're father and son. They're not brothers.
The bunker.
You know, you might think they're brothers because Owen doesn't look very old at all, does he? Owen and Oscar, thanks, guys. Fantastic job. But also over in the other booth beside us, who is now doing music in background, on-ground music for the Blue Sox this year, Paul McCulloch. P-Mac, you wouldn't believe the amount of work he does midweek. And I can tell you now, it's a hell of a lot of work. And he's the guy responsible for getting everything in place that we've got here as we go. And, so he's still working on the other things, such as doing some of the ads, cluing in Oscar and Owen, and doing the negotiations with the Blue Sox and everybody else in management in their back office. And without him, we wouldn't be in this booth, I can tell you right now. So a big thank you to PMAC in background as well. But for now, signing off for the Blue Crew. Our next broadcast, of course, will be on air at around about 3:15 tomorrow. And on behalf of Big Cam Hicks and Amy Collins and myself, Paul Harradine, you've been listening to and watching Blue Sox TV on YouTube, proudly brought to you by Sports Broadcasting Australia. Tune in again tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in today.
Good night.
See ya.